WKBI, it's a special presentation of high school football as the Ridgway Elkers meet the Redbank Valley Bulldogs. The playoffs are here. High school football's second season begins tonight in New Bethlehem. And now the 7 best teams in Class A spend 3 weeks trying to raise a trophy. The underlying theme of the playoffs in the quarterfinal round is simply rematch. All 3 games tonight are rematches of games earlier this season. This one goes all the way back to week 1. The Elkers fell behind early. Redbank had a 19-0 lead midway into the second quarter on opening night, but the Elkers refused to go away quietly. After making it a game into the second half, the Bulldogs were too much through the air and were able to finish off the Elkers. That was a long time ago in football terms. Tonight, both teams are different representations of the teams we saw in week 1, and the meaning of the game is much, much bigger. A simple equation: win or start preparing for winter sports. The winner tonight will play the winner of Union AC Valley and Cameron County next weekend in the semifinals. The Elkers and Bulldogs meet next on B94. Now let's go live to Redbank Valley High School for the pregame show, brought to you by Lindbergh Furniture and Mattress and the Lindbergh Furniture Sleep Center. Here's Nate Stice and Mark Martinez.
And good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Redbank Valley. A little bit of a rushed start here, essentially, because there was no lights. There's lights. Boom, they're throwing the kids out in the field. We're ready to play. Mark Martinez alongside Nate Stice. We'll get to your nugs. It's kickoff time.
Yeah, some spooky things starting out here this Halloween night. I'm not sure exactly what was going on. West Penn and the Redbank Valley community got it figured out, though, and we are just seconds away from kickoff.
There was a time that this could have been delayed by an hour, and then the kids were just lingering around, and then boom, they threw them out there. Ridgway set the kick off. A little bit of a squib kick. Picked up about the 30-yard line and brought down instantly. So we apologize for none of the pregame stuff because it was literally, okay, kids, let's go.
Yeah, ready, set, go, and we're ready now, folks. Nate Steger breaks down the returner from Redbank Valley. Redbank Valley, the home team, obviously, tonight here in New Bethlehem. They're going to take over here on offense, led by Braylon Wagner out of the quarterback spot, nearing a 2,000-yard season, but has done really well on the ground, 99 rushing yards last week. Let's see if he can get things started for Redbank Valley on this drive.
Ridgway will be going left to right on your dial. Again, if you're watching, it is available. You can check it out on our Facebook, or which streams to our YouTube, which is Laurel Media. We want to thank our sponsors. Our pregame sponsor didn't get the love. Nate's going to tell you about the game. I'm going to do what we need to do. Lindbergh Sleep Center, make sure you check them out, downtown historic Johnsonburg, where you're going to get your next bedding, next furniture, and all of that. Title sponsor on the radio is St. Mary's Insurance in all of their affiliates. Don't forget, at halftime, we'll talk about Bell's Meat and Poultry. Wait for the play, and I'll recap.
So Redbank got 3 yards on that first attempt. Wagner, quarterback keeper, dropped back, picked up a couple there. So 3rd and manageable now for Redbank Valley on their first offensive drive. Officially, I think it's going to be 3rd and 4, and in fact is. So 3rd and 4, 3rd and short coming up here, Mark. You know, pretty manageable spot, but you gotta like to start from Ridgway. You know, haven't let up, any big plays, and let's see what they can do on 3rd down. Get off the field, maybe.
Don't forget, after the game, we'll have our Rowley Family Chiropractor Player of the Game. We have the Spitzer Auto World score updates that we'll be giving you, along with our friend Duber, as Redbank will pick up the first down and more. And then we would like to thank our sponsor on the stream, which is Epic HVAC. They're responsible for the stream today, so if you're in and around any of our sponsors, make sure you tell them thank you for what they do. This is a district game. Things cost a little bit more, yada, yada, yada. You don't need to hear all those bells and whistles, but if you're interested, basketball season is right around the corner. Call Kier at the radio station on Monday. Now we can get to the game on my end as well.
Yes, thank you so much, Mark. That was awesome. Easton Maganotti picked up the first down there on the reception from Wagner. Quarterback keeper here from Wagner on first down, and he's going to be wrapped up by the defensive line of the Elkers. Solo tackle there for the Ridgeway defensive line. That was Robert Pruitt, the senior, on that defensive line. Very young team, one of just 2 seniors tonight, Marks, and good to see Pruitt, get that tackle there on that first down play.
Huge weekend for Laurel Media. We're here in Redbank. JJ and Rick are in Kane. And then tomorrow, big show over here, wearing his Halloween mask already. Nate Stice and JJ will have the St. Mary's championship game against Brockway on the Hound. Passed in and out of the hands of the wide receiver. Nice coverage there by Jace Zimmerman.
Yeah, just a little bit out of the hands there. Good play, though. Quick out route. 3rd and long, though, coming up for Redbank Valley.
See if Ridgway get him off the field. I talked to Coach Hinton a little bit. He said speed is essential tonight to get to Wagner.
Yeah, absolutely. It's speed in every way, and kind of in my estimation as well. Like you said, speed up front to contain Wagner, speed on the outside for Ridgway, to run, the football. So I think it's speed all around, will be key for their success.
Back to pass is Wagner. Shoots a short one, and going to have plenty of room running down the sideline. That's number 7 in Gold, Carson Gold, for a first down plus, essentially in the red zone.
Yeah, great blocking there by the wide receiver from Redbank Valley to set him up. Carson Gold does the rest on that big 3rd down play for Ridgway. That's tough to see. Another part of that speed, like we were talking about, was getting speed out in front. Not falling behind 19-0 here on the road like they did in week 1. But Redbank knocking on the door here on their first drive.
It's going to be a handoff right up the gut. Going to pick up a few. Yes, we have a window right in the way. Yes, there's a little bit of an issue when we swing the camera around. There's one dead zone. That's where we were put tonight, so I apologize.
Pickup of 8 there. 2nd and 2 coming up for Redbank Valley.
No score as of yet. Under 9 minutes ago here in the first quarter.
3rd down plays obviously been big in this first Redbank Valley offense operation. Going to be kept by Wagner. He keeps that himself on the RPO. Be close to a first down. We'll see. And it is in fact another first down. So 1st and goal coming up here for the Bulldogs. Got a nice drive going here against Ridgeway.
Yeah, 1st and goal on the 4. 8:30 to go here in the first quarter. Wagner will go under center. Wide out motion to the left. Looking like a tush push, essentially. It's not, we know, but we joke, and he's going to be brought down essentially at the line of scrimmage, Nate.
Yeah, not much there. Another quarterback keeper. It's, talking to Coach Gold coming into this ball game, running Wagner has been something they've done a little bit more of as the season has gone on. Obviously, he's got a cannon arm. He's a 4-year guy for Redbank Valley, but his legs has really led. Like I said, almost 100 yards last week, and obviously, mixing up with some passes, but it's been his legs, that they're trying to get incorporated early in this one.
We'll bring up 2nd and 2 from the 2. Shotgun. Handoff. Met in the backfield. And I believe that was...
Yeah, it was Xavier Stockman. Yeah, great job there by Stockman. He had a heck of a game last week as well. 5 carries, almost 200 yards rushing last week for Stockman. But defensively comes up with a big stop there. Loss of 2. 3rd and short, 3rd and 4 coming up here. 3rd and goal situation for Redbank. And they kind of spread things out here a little bit and go into a shotgun rather than under center.
2 on the far side, 1 on the near side. Wagner keeps himself. Jaunts over, tosses it. It's in the end zone. Touchdown. 6-0 your score. Redbank up at the 7:01 mark, awaiting the extra point.
Very, 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 very good drive. They had some 3rd down situations, a 3rd and 10. They come up with a big play to Carson Gold, and he gets them down to the red zone, and then they just finish that off here. Unbalanced line here coming up for Redbank Valley on this play. Wagner gets the snap.
Going for 2, tosses it in. It is good. 2-point conversion puts your score 8-0. Redbank, 7:01 in the first quarter. Send it out for a quick break here on B94, brought to you by St. Mary's Insurance.
Here in Elk County, family means everything. At St. Mary's Insurance and Affiliates, we treat our clients like part of our family. That's why St. Mary's Insurance, Borst Insurance in Ridgway, and the Smith Keats Agency in Johnsonburg have been trusted by generations to protect homes, cars, businesses, and families. From our family to yours, we're here to protect what matters most. Stop by one of our offices, give us a call, or visit us online at stmariesagency.com.
4-yard touchdown pass with a 2-point conversion puts Redbank up 8-0 here in the district. I almost said championship. That's tomorrow for St. Mary's.
Yeah, District 9 Class A quarterfinal matchup here in New Bethlehem. Redbank Valley 8-0 lead over the visiting Elkers. So another quick start for Redbank here, Mark.
Wagner on that toss into the end zone for the touchdown also could have ran it in. There was a mile.
Yeah, they did a little switch up there, unbalanced line, shifted a lot of their line to the left, just the center and one other lineman in the middle of the field. And the Elkers, I think, were not quite sure how to line up, and it led to a wide open, pitch and catch there for the 2-point conversion.
Picked up on the 10-yard line. Plenty of room out to about the 33-yard line. Stager will be wrapped up.
So Ridgway coming in, they're a hot team, won 5 out of 6, just really a change of the narrative of their season. They were 1-4, and I'm sure there were people across the district, across the state, even if they were closely following it, thought they were, long gone. They didn't have any chance, but, they rattled off, a lot of victories. The Brockway one got away from them. They easily could have won that one and got to 6-4, but there's no quitting these Elkers. So we'll see, despite a slow start here on the defensive side, what their offense can do.
It's been a few weeks since we've been with Ridgeway, and I'm excited to see Gerg, and Gerg is just always running amok.
Absolutely. Yeah, he's been finding the end zone left and right, 100-yard games. Xavier Stockman's got going much more as well. And then Stager, the speed is just undeniable.
Bring up 2nd and 9 after a 1-yard gain. Ball spotted at the 33 of Ridgeway. You keep sprinkling in your nugs since you didn't get your pregame show. JJ will give you a lot tomorrow, don't worry.
Yeah. No question. It's all right. We can sprinkle them in. We can do, instead of, a 20-piece at once, we can do a 4-piece here, a 6-piece there, another 4-piece. We'll get it in here, no question.
Max loves you, by the way. Direct snap to Gerg. He's going to plow forward for about 3 or 4. Bring up a manageable 3rd down for Ridgeway.
Yeah, and that's key for Ridgway. It's been that way all year long. Running a single-wing offense, with the run heavy, you got to get out in front. You got to pick up, chunk yardage, 3-4 yards a clip. So 3rd and manageable here, 3rd and 5 situation. Let's see if the Elkers are up to the task to convert on this.
5:45 left here in the first quarter. 8-0 your score. Redbank leads. Again, we want to thank our streaming sponsor, Epic, for being able to do all these district games.
Yeah, they were been a sponsor, with the Hound and B94, and we appreciate a little bit more love, and we're glad to give you a shout out here. Thanks for all you guys do for the community.
Back to pass, and in and out of the hands of Stager, close to the sideline.
So punting situation, I believe, ensuing here for Ridgway. Similarly, to the last time they were down here. Early going, kind of woes, but we'll see if their defense is up to the task here after they, get this punt away.
It was the 3rd down, essentially, on that drive that kept that going, that long pass to Gold. Otherwise, Ridgeway's defense, I like what they're doing, but that 3rd down kind of bit them.
Yeah, 2 of them. They had a 3rd and 4 situation. They didn't get that one. 3rd and 10, like you said, with Gold. Huge play for them. And that's really swung a little bit of momentum. Short punt for Ridgeway, but they're going to quickly down that at around the midfield mark.
I want to talk about Ridgeway missing a key component in this on the line. Frank Howard out. Frank's a big piece.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's tough to see. I had the chance to speak to him a little bit yesterday. I told him I'm thinking of him, and I was truly sorry about you go down in the last regular season game right before the playoffs. Your junior year, had a great season. One of the, he's kind of one of the vocal leaders. He's a very outspoken kid.
He's vocal,
and Frank. Definitely, I respect that about him. But yeah, it's definitely tough to see him go down. But no question, it's a next man up mentality for the Elkers, as Coach Hino kind of explained to me leading up to this game.
A little handoff, not going to go anywhere. Great defense right there. That was Stager. Nate coming through the line.
He's heard his name quite a bit.
I know.
He's been on like every tackle, every pass, runs. So Nate Stager, he's certainly come to play. For not being necessarily the biggest kid, man, can he really play? He can really scoot, and he is just tough and hard-nosed. He is similar to Landon Cook from St. Mary's. Not necessarily the biggest kid, but doesn't matter. Those guys are gamers. They can really, really play, and they don't mind getting in the mud and getting tough and kind of rowdy, honestly.
And then out, it's going to be handoff. Ball on the ground. Ridgway pounced right into the hands of guess who? Nate Stager.
Yeah, just a ball magnet, a game magnet actually right now. He's just been in all sort of the action here, and that's a huge swing of momentum for Ridgway. They take over at the 40, I believe it's the 45-yard line. So, short field for the Elkers. Let's see if they are up for the challenge. A good break to go their way.
Christmas on Halloween, is that bounced perfectly in his hands?
Absolutely. I mean, he just right place, right time. Maybe I kind of spoke that into existence, saying he's been all around the ball. Well, there you go, buddy. You got one right to your feet, dives right on it. Elker ball.
It's going to go to Nate on the left side, running room plenty as he's still going about the 25-yard line is where will be brought down for Redbank.
Wow. Man,
talk about a spark plug?
Yeah, absolutely. That certainly describes Nate Stager. So just go with the hot hand, I guess, and it's been the hot hand all year. He's certainly a huge part of this offense, 10-plus touchdowns all around, receiving and rushing. A huge part of their return game as well. Some interceptions this year for Stager with some nice returns. I believe he had a punt return touchdown last week. So Stager, big play machine.
Stockman's going to keep it himself right up the gut for a few.
So Ridgway really knocking on the door themselves.
Under 4 to go here in the first quarter. Man, this game's going fast. 8-0 your score. Redbank leads. 2nd and 6, ball on the 19. Ridgway knocking on the door.
Yeah. Obviously a short drive, but a good drive. One play right, almost into the red zone here. So, Ridgway's second and manageable play right up their alley.
Stockman under center. Nope, check that. Direct snap is to Stager.
Stager once again. I think he's got enough for a first down. Certainly does. So now Elkers inside the red zone now. Hasn't taken him long, just a 3-play drive, but 2 long runs by Nate Stager, and the Elkers knocking on the door here down in New Bethlehem.
Looks like to 15, so they can get a first down prior to scoring, but nonetheless, you want to score.
Absolutely.
That's going to go to Stockman, who's going to plow right up the middle for a few yards. I like that they're switching it up. I know it's been Ridgway's MO all year, but I like that they're switching it up so often right now because Redbank a little bit on their heels on this drive.
Absolutely, yeah. They've given up quite a few big plays. The fumble is a huge play that kind of can spark momentum for a team. It has certainly done that for Ridgway on this drive. And to your point, Mark, Xavier Stockman is someone else that's really emerged in the run game in recent weeks. Huge game last week, almost 200 yards on the ground and just 5 carries and 2 or 3 scores. So it's good to really spread that wealth out and be a little more unpredictable, and they certainly are out of this single wing.
That's going to be a direct snap to Stager. Stager fighting through a hole. It's going to pick up a few before being brought down. Listen, if we don't tell you who has the ball on Redbank on that side, and these unis, not disrespecting, but they're gray with red lettering and no outline, so I can't tell you a number down there at all.
No, unfortunately, no. And then you got a red track in the background that it blends in with as well. Not to make another excuse, but yeah, these are definitely really difficult to kind of see. So we'll do our darndest. We'll listen to PA as well.
I should have left my Jeep lights on because we're parked over by a fence. Maybe it would help out
maybe
a little bit.
halftime audible for us to do that.
Not with the issues I've had with the
No, definitely not.
Flag on the play, right up the gut is Stockman.
But there's a flag by the back judge there. So I'm thinking it was, illegal shift, illegal procedure on the Elkers. So we're going to come back. Yeah, illegal shift is officially the call. So 3rd and 10 coming up for Ridgway. But like you said, Mark, they can still get the first down, obviously, in 4-down territory. So they got 2 plays to really do that. You don't have to go for the home run right off the bat. you just take what they give you and try to chunk it and get that first down.
1:21 to go here in the first. 8-0 your score, Redbank here in the district quarters. Berg behind the center. Quick little handoff to Steger, jumping over. He's close to the first down from our vantage point.
Yeah, first down for Steger, certainly. Little crisscross there, little counter play. Takes it to the outside. Steger with the hot hand. They get it back to him. We can't really tell exactly.
Yep, they
did give him the first down, yeah. We were just a little ahead of that. So first and goal at the 4-yard line. Ridgeway continues this pretty strong drive, trying to cash in on that short field opportunity.
Steger in motion.
There's an encroachment, I think, on the Redbank Valley defensive front.
Maybe half the distance.
Half the distance to the 2-yard line. First and goal from the 2. Ridgeway.
38 seconds to go here in the first. From the delay, I'm stuttering, from a delay of 2 hours to first quarter's almost done in 10 seconds.
I know, and I don't think we've breathed really since. We haven't come up for breath yet, Mark. We're going to take this next commercial break and really kind of collect our composure here. This has been an exciting start to this ball game.
Motion is Steger. Gerg's going to keep it. Plow through, and that's going to be a touchdown for Gerg, putting your score 8-6. Redbank.
Yeah, and that's their red zone machine right there. Cashes in on those short yardage opportunities. He's someone that, played fullback a lot growing up. Well, the fullbacks get the ball, but they're the lead blocker. Well, Marcus Gerg has really adjusted to being a running back as the season has gone on, and he has really filled and stepped up and improved, no question about it. And again, cashes in on a short field opportunity. Ridgway going to go for 1 here, and I don't blame them. Casilio, excellent kicker, had another field goal last week. A big part of that soccer program as well. So Casilio, the sophomore here. Good snap, good hold, and that is going to be in Armstrong County.
Did he hit the Jeep? Because it's right there.
Yeah, it was close. It was certainly close. So 8-7, Redbank still in front, but a great touchdown drive there from the Elkers.
Heating and cooling done right, guaranteed. Redbank Heating and Cooling, all day or night when you need. Redbank Heating and
10 seconds left.
Every time we show up for you. Making your day feel epic, like a superhero. Heating and cooling experts, tried, trusted, and true. Every install feels epic, and when the time comes, you'll know. You've got our trusted team for the cold and heat. Redbank Heating and Cooling, all day or night when you need. Redbank Heating and cooling done right, guaranteed. Redbank Heating and Cooling.
And welcome back to Redbank Valley Area High School. 10 seconds left here in the first quarter. 8-7 your score. Mark Martinez alongside Nate Stice, bringing you all the action down here tonight. Now, Nate, you can say what we said wanted to go into commercial.
Yeah, I was just going to say really quickly, just 10 seconds left here in this first quarter, certainly flying by. And, we didn't even know if we were going to be on air at 7 and, not much of a pregame. Well, here we are, and, this one is just flying by. Both teams keeping it on the ground. This is going to be, if it keeps up, a quick ball game.
Strong kick. All the way down to the 10. We've picked up by Redbank. Brought out probably to the 23, 24-yard line.
Yeah, not a bad return, but really good job angling that kick, kind of letting it sit over there, high bounces off the ground. So Ridgway, forces long field out of the kicking game. Redbank, really strong drive the first time. Second drive ended in a fumble. We'll see what third drive of the game has in store for these Bulldogs.
5 seconds left again here in the first quarter, 8-7. Imagine one play and out as we get set for the second quarter. Handoff. Check that. Pass. And it is complete on the far side, right in front of the judge. Keeps it in bounds, and that's the way the quarter is going to end. What a shift of fields instantly by Redbank. 8-7 your score after one. We'll send it out for a quick break here on B94.
Lindbergh Furniture, that's the star.
Where you'll find bargains galore.
Bob and Bonnie will save you cash.
And deliver your furniture in a flash.
Lindbergh.
Lindbergh Furniture wants to congratulate the teams playing in tonight's game. Congratulations on all you've achieved this year. They're proud of you and your success. You're a fine example of our area youth.
Do you suffer from uncomfortable varicose veins? Are your legs restless, swollen, or sore? Athena Laser Clinic in Ridgway, along with experienced vascular surgeon and St. Mary's native, Dr. Philip Georgievich, will be offering a free vein screening on Monday, November 3rd from 4 to 6 p.m. Stop struggling with sore and swollen varicose veins. We will see you Monday, November 3rd from 4 to 6 at Athena Laser Clinic in Ridgway. No appointment necessary.
Start of the second quarter here in Redbank. 8-7 your score. Redbank on top. You have a nug off of that last play.
Yeah, Jackson Huffman just went over the 1,000-yard mark for the season, and Braylon, receiving that is, and Braylon Wagner, I believe, just went over the 2,000-yard mark for passing in that first quarter as well. So, congratulations to those young men on the seasons that they're having.
Also want to give a quick shout-out, because we didn't have a pregame, to the St. Mary's and ECC volleyball teams, both bringing home a district championship. So congratulations to the girls from both schools.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's a great point for sure. I want to give a shout-out next to the Ridgway Elker defensive line. Yeah. Really good job on that. Forces absolutely nothing on that first down play. Brought down by Pruitt once again on that defensive front. So 2nd and 10 ensuing for the Bulldogs.
Robert having a great game thus far.
Yeah, wrecking havoc up front, especially defensively. And I know offensively, obviously he was in the weeds down there, setting up that Elker touchdown drive.
Two on the wide side. Oh, pressure off the bat by Pruitt again. And a nice tip.
Yeah, that was
by Redfoot.
Yeah, that was Redfoot there. Good job to knock that down. Really good pressure again from the Ridgway front. Forced Wagner to kind of throw on the run there, get a little bit discombobulated. So again, 3rd and 10 ensuing. Ridgway's got to have this one if they're, to get off the field.
This, for me though, as a coach, this is 2-down territory.
Yeah, you're probably right. Yeah, it's right there. They've moved the ball really well. They've had some big plays, and that was a point of emphasis for Ridgway. We can't give up those big plays. So right here, ensuing on 3rd and long, they can't give up a big play this time. If you're Redbank, you got to keep doing what you're doing because obviously big plays have been a big part of the success here in the early going.
Shotgun, quick little play, wrapped up right at the line of scrimmage. And that was Brandon Steger. And I believe Allegretto wrapping him up.
Yeah, it was Huffman on the reception there. Another grab by him, but 4th and 10 now. So gave up exactly nothing on that play. Good job by the Elker defense here. Gave up a big one earlier in this drive, but on this, set of downs, done a pretty good job. See if they can get off the field here on 4th and long.
I love the pressure by Ridgway so far on Wagner. Here it comes again. Wagner's got to step up. Now he's going to run because he's past the line of scrimmage. I don't know. Pass complete and running all the way. Are they going to say he's down at the 1?
Down at the 1-inch line.
Ooh, somebody rewatch that on YouTube and let me know because that was real close to being over the line of scrimmage on that pass.
Absolutely. Yeah, heck of a play there by Wagner, that kept that. I believe that back foot was behind the line, broken play, but he came up with a huge one. And now Redbank Valley, long play again, now in the red zone at the 1-inch line. Ridgway they just had to have that one. They almost did. They touched him, but he got away and made a huge play happen.
Officials had a little bit of a meeting there, and they said, okay, never mind. So it'll be first and goal on the 1, 10:28 to go here in the second. 8-7 your score. Redbank leads this. Man in motion. Wagner just plows up the middle. And touchdown.
Jalen Wagner, making things happen once again. Like we said, experienced quarterback, really just a gamer, heads in the game, understands where he's at on the field, understands his connection with those receivers. That was a drive that he really made that happen with those crazy pass plays. One deep ball and then one scrambles, broken play, finds his guy. Really set that up, and then they reward him by finishing with the 1-yard touchdown run.
Wonky spread again. Wagner going to keep it himself. Lays his head down and picks up the 2-point conversion, putting your score 16-7 Redbank with 10:15 to go here in the second quarter. Send it out for a quick break again here on B94.
Hey, yo, listen up, fam. The Sons of Little Italy in Elk County is serving the most authentic pizza and heroes around. It's like it's straight from Italy in New York, right to your plate. Are you craving that mafia-grade taste? Well, this is the place for you. So get this, they've got differing hours each day. If you want to find out when they're open, do me a favor. Get onto their Facebook page, like them, and then take a peek. Now, they're closed on Sundays and Mondays because, hey, even gangsters need a little breather from what I hear. So, get your hands on the Take and Bake DiCerbo and Enzo pies, their fresh bread, heroes, and more. You can order now online at thesonsoflittleitaly.com. That's thesonsoflittleitaly.com. Call them up, 814-773-3199. Now, listen, don't wait, Capos. This ain't no chain joint. It's the real deal. Storm in and taste the legacy today. The Sons of Little Italy, 25 Luray Drive in Ridgeway.
Nate, I will say this, following that commercial break by the Sons of Little Italy, Maran, if you have not eaten there, get there. It's great. Kickoff going to be picked up by Ridgeway. About to the 25-yard line.
Pretty good coverage that time by Redbank Valley. They were down there lickety-split. It was, in fact, Huffman, who was a short yardage quarterback for Redbank Valley. We appreciate those in the booth there that kind of knew that situational football that the Bulldogs play down here. And Huffman is the one that cashed in on that short yardage rushing touchdown.
16-7 your score. 10-10 to go here in the first half. Redbank leads this.
Pretty good touchdown drive last time by the Elkers. Let's see if they can answer once again. Not quite the same field position, but they still did get things going on that touchdown drive nonetheless.
Yeah, if there was more yardage, you would have racked it up. But, that one's going to be cut short. Wrapped up by the whole pound.
Yeah, the whole dog pound, absolutely. Yeah, short yardage there. I think they officially gave them 2nd and 8, so gain of 2 there for Ridgeway.
Malachi Stewart, the big 6', 260 sophomore, first man in there.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Yeah, this is a young defensive and offensive front. They just have one senior. The rest are sophomores and freshmen for Redbank Valley. So they've really had a young team that's grown in the trenches so far over this year.
Ridgeway, set. In motion is Stager. Stockman going to keep it himself. Looking for some help. Get some blocking. Still on his feet. Plowing forward for a couple. Stockman almost lost 5 yards.
I know. There was
yeoman's work.
Yeah, there was not a lot to work with there. For him to get a rushing play there, a gain of 3 or 4, that was a broken play, no question. And that's just Xavier Stockman being an athlete, being aware out there to make something happen despite having truly no time to throw. But nonetheless, he picks up 4 yards on that play. So 3rd and 4 coming up here for Ridgeway.
Shout out to the Redbank cheerleaders. They're all Dr. Seuss characters, by the way, down in front of us.
Yeah,
I'm a child. I love it.
I love it. Yeah, I agree. And a big play there by Redbank Valley, forcing a 4th down here for the Elker offense.
Connor Colwell stepping up and bringing down the Ridgeway runner, Stager.
Yeah, Stager on that carry. Just 1 yard on that attempt. And we're going to have a personnel change. Going to be a punt here for Ridgeway. Yeah, going back to these Dr. Seuss characters, the Lorax, the Cat in the Hat.
Well, there's an avocado, too. I don't know how that fits into Dr. Seuss.
Well, it's probably in some book, in some work that he did along the way.
What's your favorite one?
I mean, Green Eggs and Ham is a classic, so you got to go with that.
Punt off and well.
Great punt by Casilio. Takes a bad bounce. And Ridgway going to down that at the 47-yard line. So Redbank came up with a stop there. Favorable field position for them on this possession. You know, for Ridgway, you know, you really got to do a little bit of what I call is kind of damage control here. You know, it's tough in a single wing offense when you don't pass the ball too often. You know, to come back from 2-3 scores, like I said, you know, in some of the earlier streams and radio broadcasts this season. So Ridgway, you know, the defense, you know, you guys got to come up with a stop here, no doubt.
Yeah, stop here and score before the end of the second. Ridgway does get the ball essentially to start the second half. So.
Yeah,
well within.
Yes, absolutely.
Back to pass. Nice pass. Just a little bit out of the reach of his wide out. So did PennDOT ever show up? Not PennDOT. West Penn ever show up? I didn't see nothing going on.
Well, if they did, they're running out of time to show up because this game is just flying by. You know, we've had a few passes, but not a lot of incompletions either. So,
yeah.
You know, with that, the clock continues to run. So if they're gonna come here, you better hurry up or you're gonna miss it.
You're missing a midget game tomorrow.
Absolutely,
early,
absolutely. Yeah, you're gonna see the youth Bulldogs or something, or you just might come to an empty stadium, perhaps.
Back to pass again is Wagner. Short and quick for a first down on the far side.
That's just great awareness, you know, just running right to the sticks. Good timing route there.
Wagner was also fading back when he threw that on his back foot.
Yeah.
Not that he was backpedaling from pressure. He saw that it was that open that quick, and it was just boom, boom, boom.
Yeah, it's just instincts. It's reps. You know, it's a veteran play. He's been doing this. This is 4 years as starting quarterback, I believe. So, you know, that's just a guy recognizing the coverage, recognizing that a guy is going to get open off a route and just throwing it right in there. And they're with a fresh set of sticks now after that completion.
2 wideouts each side, man in motion for Redbank. Wagner, plenty of time, unleashes right in front of us, number 10. Working forward, close to another first down.
That's Jace Klauser on the reception there, the freshman. He's had a nice season as a receiver here for Redbank Valley. Had a touchdown last week. Picks up a good gainer there for Redbank on first down.
Where's the Bulldogs ranking your favorite dog situation?
Probably not anywhere towards the top.
Oh,
to be honest, it's just I don't know. There's slobber all over the place, and I don't know. It's not my forte. I'm kind of a big dog person. I think that they offer a little bit something different.
Oh man, a one-handed catch! Wow.
Well, that Bulldog receiver said, "Hey, we don't really care if you like us."
I wasn't saying that mean.
Yeah.
I like Bulldogs. Like, clearly it goes Golden Retriever,
yeah.
Australian Shepherd, and then the Bulldog, because it goes back to wrestling terms of the British Bulldogs. They had this awesome dog, Matilda, back in the day.
What a grab.
Nonetheless, 16-7 your score here for Redbank. See, I told you I was going to go all over the place. 7:25 to go here in the first half. Redbank leads.
What a grab. You know, I think that was personal towards me. You don't like the Bulldogs, we'll have this. One-handed snatch, first down. Redbank Valley Bulldogs, they're driving.
Man in motion off of the 4 wide receivers. Wagner back to pass, under pressure, unleashes though, and just through the hands of the wideout.
That was Klauser again there, targeted by Wagner. I think it was just out of bounds there, just couldn't come up with the completion. Taking a shot on first down, you know, 2nd and 10 coming up here for Redbank. You know, Ridgway,
they need to stop.
They got to have the stop. You know, Redbank has found some chunk plays, some big plays, you know, especially in the passing attack, no question.
Same formation, 2 on each side. And in motion, it's going to be a little flip. And Ridgway will eat it up. And that's going to be Allegretto.
Yeah, Rocco Allegretto on the tackle of Jace Klauser there. So Klauser all around the ball on this drive specifically. A couple grabs being targeted there once again. I think he's been targeted 3 of the last 4 plays. That one comes up with a loss there. 3rd and 11 now for Redbank. They've been in these situations before, and they've cashed in on many of them tonight. So if you're Ridgeway again, you keep saying it. You got to stop them in these situations. These third and longs is exactly what you want to force. And now you just got to come up with the stop. You got to execute once you get into there.
6:20 to go here in the first half. 16-7 is your score. Wagner back to pass. Steps up. He's got running room. Plenty of running room. Still on his feet after being tackled. Gerg brings him down after he picks up the first down, though.
Yeah, that's just recognizing the green grass in front of you. Everybody's down the field. And just, unfortunately, nobody was there enough to stay in home. Wagner makes a couple, moves and ends up picking up enough for the first down and some.
1st and 10 on the 15. Now you have a song stuck in my head because you said green grass, because it grows all around. Quick little slant pass again. Pick up about 5 or 6. I don't know what you did on the way down, but now I'm just giggly.
Kind of all over the place. We really had to jump into this, into this kind of this stream and this radio call here tonight, folks. Kind of some Halloween spooks going on here with the lights.
A full moon, maybe?
Yeah,
maybe
it might be. A lot of, goofiness and scariness kind of coming down here in terms of the lights. We weren't sure if we were going to get started on time, but these young men, they were ready. They were chomping at the bit. And Redbank now, I think they might be taking a time out here.
Looks like they are. So with that, we'll take a quick break to get a sponsor in here on B94.
Need a loan? Go to Mountain Laurel Federal Credit Union. I'll bet you've heard that a few hundred times. But have you actually investigated it? They have a loan for your life. Whether it's an auto loan for a new or used vehicle, a loan for your college student, a home loan, a loan to get a boat, RV, ATV, or snowmobile, or a loan to take that long overdue vacation you need. I think you get the idea. They give out a lot of loans. Not only that, but the rates on those loans are even sweeter. Do you live, work, worship, or attend school in Elk, Cameron, McKean, or Warren County? If so, then you qualify for membership at Mountain Laurel Federal Credit Union. See how simple it can be. Visit one of their 7 locations in the area or log on to mlfcu.net. Best of luck to all the athletes competing today from Mountain Laurel Federal Credit Union, where it certainly is good to be a member.
16-7, Redbank leads this game, and knocking on the door once again, Mark Martinez alongside Nate Stice. 5:01 left here in the second quarter.
Ridgway got it. Got to get a stop. I'm going to just keep saying it. They have to have it. They have to have it. It's really, really tough, when you're down here at a road playoff game, to kind of come back. So they really got to have this. They got to get this stop big time.
Yeah, they down 2 scores is rough. Wagner right over the middle. Holy moly, was he wide open. Which your score 22-7. That tight end didn't have anybody within the vicinity of Pittsburgh.
Yeah, broken coverage there, broken alignment from Ridgeway, obviously, and a wide open pitch and catch there. Redbank Valley's offense, they're rolling. Going to come out again, unbalanced line, putting 5 down linemen out in left field, truly.
Yeah.
And Wagner takes the snap, rolls out to his right, and he's just going to beat everybody to the pylon. So another 2-point conversion successful for these Bulldogs. They're up 24-7 here, 5:01 to go in the second quarter.
Send it out for a quick break on B94.
When you want a hometown feel with plenty of options, you choose Spitzer Auto World St. Mary's, where the service is fun, fast, easy, and now backed by the Spitzer Shield. When you choose us, you choose a variety of brand new vehicles across 3 separate lots. When you choose us, you choose to know everything we've done to make our pre-owned vehicles second to none. A rigorous inspection process performed by factory-trained technicians and professional detail inside and out. Visit us along the $1 Million Highway today for all of your Chevrolet, GMC, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, Ford needs. Spitzer Auto World St. Mary's, our world revolves around you.
24-7 your score, 5:01 left to go here in the second quarter. Redbank leads Ridgeway. Man, we talked about during the quick break, those 2-point conversions, the way it's set up is there's no possible way the Redbank can't get 2 off of that every time.
Absolutely. Yeah, they've seen a wrinkle in the Ridgeway defense, and they're taking advantage of it. They've got another touchdown out of these 2-point conversions. They've been really tough to stop. So Ridgeway, hopefully they can make some adjustments coming out of the halftime break. But for right now, it's this Ridgeway offense. They got to show some life here, and they got to get some points on the board. That ball's fumbled by the Ridgeway returner there, and Redbank was all over that. Bobbled there by Owen Stager. Yeah, but he comes up with it, gets a little bit, but Redbank Valley was all over him. So, long field to go here once again for Ridgeway.
I believe we're going to say 25-yard line is where Ridgeway will start with under 5 to go here in the first half. Down 24-7. Again, want to thank our streaming sponsor, Epic HVAC, for being able to bring you the stream tonight. I want to thank all our sponsors throughout the whole year on Laurel Media Enterprises, essentially. Thank you for everything you do. If you're in and around any of these sponsors, make sure you tell them thank you. And if you'd like to become a sponsor for basketball season, call here at the office on Monday. A little bit of slip in the backfield by Girk and couldn't go anywhere. His left foot, as he was trying to run, was just sliding, and then he was wrapped up. I believe it was number 55, again, that brought him down.
Yeah, he got stuck, and then there's a flag on the play as well. That was Malachi Stewart, the sophomore, and it's going to be a penalty on the Ridgeway Elkers, so it's going to back them up even more here. I believe his cleats, he slipped, and then his cleat got kind of stuck in the ground after that. So, once he gained his footing, he didn't go anywhere out of it as well. Unfortunate play all around for Ridgeway. If you're Ridgeway on this, you really got to take advantage of the clock. You have to understand, we want to be probably the last ones to touch this in the second quarter, and then we get the ball again. In a perfect world, that's what the Elkers are trying to do. But when you back up, you're making it a little bit tougher on yourself on this drive. But yeah, nonetheless, if they can if they can get a drive going and get another score coming out of the half, they're right back in this ball game. But yeah, it comes down to execution now for Ridgeway.
First and country mile. They didn't even put it up on the scoreboard yet.
Stockman back to pass, and he connects. I believe that's Kilpeck, the tight end, on the receiving end of that.
It is. It'll bring them back to the original line of scrimmage. So about a 15-yard pass there by Stockman to Kilpeck.
Yeah, get you back in business. I mean, I know 2nd and 10 isn't ideal, but it's better than 1st and 25. So good play there by the Elkers. I believe that's their first completion of the ball game. It's still a long way to go if you're going to keep this drive alive, but you got to start with 1.
Yeah. Then you go to 2.
Absolutely. Yeah. Glad we come to this little math lesson. Mark, the mathematician here on air, folks.
Not from the first week. Gerg plowing through. He's going to pick up about 5 or 6. Nice run by Marcus there.
Yeah, really good back-to-back gainers there for Ridgeway. Third man from 1st and 25 to 3rd and manageable. That just shows you Ridgeway no quitting them here. But now you really got to come up with this 3rd and 3 play to keep this this drive alive, keep these sticks moving.
24-7 your score. 3:35 left here in the first half. Redbank leads this. Back to their tight formation. In motion, Stager. He'll wrap next to Gerg in the backfield. And I believe we're going to have a timeout called by Coach Heindel, and we do. So we're still knocking some sponsors out, so we'll send it out for a quick break here on B94.
Top of the Line Builders, the area's leader in quality roofing projects, now adds seamless gutter installation to our services. At Top of the Line Builders, our staff is trained to offer professional installation. For more information and a no-obligation quote on seamless gutters, call Nick Cherry at 814-965-5785. We offer free estimates and are fully insured. Top of the Line Builders. Get your project done right the first time.
Wouldn't it be great if you could have your insurances for auto, home, business, farm, life, and retirement in just one agency? That's what Pacelli Insurance is for.
And welcome back to Redbank. Quick timeout by Ridgeway. 24-7 your score. Direct snap to Gerg and wrapped up at the line of scrimmage. Fourth and, we're going to say they gave them one, so let's say 4th and 2, Nate. This is a must go, right?
I think so. I know you give them short field position. I don't think they're thinking that way, though. I think they had a personnel change, and they're going to punt it away. But I understand, potentially either side of this. You don't want Redbank to get the ball back. You want to be the last one to try to possess the ball. But at the same time, you got to trust your defense. Their defense has been really good all season long. Hasn't been so strong tonight, but they are going to punt nonetheless. Casilio back to kick this one away.
Nice punt by Casilio. Gets a Ridgeway bounce. All the way down to about the 30-yard line. See if they mark it on the 29. Nope, they're going to mark it at the 30. So that's where Redbank's going to start with 2:27 to go here in the second quarter in a 24-7 lead.
Yeah, for Ridgeway now, you got to shift your momentum to we have to get the stop. If you're them, we got to get the stop. We went into the half getting a stop, and now we get the ball back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it going on that drive. They fought back from 1st and 25. They nearly got it, but just not quite enough at the end of the day. But now for Ridgeway, this is where you got to dig deep, guys. You have to understand if you get down another one, it's going to be really, really difficult. You're going to probably have to really change your game plan big time, kind of play, kind of outside of themselves for this season to maybe come back, try some deep shots. But you got to come up with a stop first.
Man in motion, Wagner. Quick pass. Complete. And Ridgeway. That's what I thought, and I really did. Ridgeway, a turnover right here for Ridgeway with, 2:10 to go. Down here, closer on their side where they want to. I think it's definitely time to play like that a little bit. You kind of force the strips, go in at them, because they got one that Stager took advantage of, and then Ridgeway took advantage of it essentially.
Absolutely, yeah, it's a good point. When you kick it away, you say, guys, rip at that ball a little bit, give them a little extra adage kind of on there with ripping it away. Wagner running free now and picks up a positive gain there. Going to be 3rd and manageable, about 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6 coming up here for Redbank Valley. But yeah, to your point, Mark, they're playing the field game, that turnover game. If one falls on the ground, they throw an interception, you're in great field position. So I do understand that side of it, most certainly. And it is going to be officially 3rd and 5 now. 1:25 left in this second quarter.
Nice wrap up there by Stockman on that open field. Back to pass again is Wagner. Wagner looks over right on the sideline. Perfect pass and catch. Number 12. That's going to be Easton Maganotti for the first down. Moving the sticks again with 1:13 to go here in the second quarter.
Yeah, good little toe tappage there. Got 2 feet in, I think. Just needed one. Redbank Valley continues what's been a strong evening offensively for these Bulldogs.
Same formation. Wagner checks it out under a little bit of a pressure. On the run to his left, one man to beat, steps forward, gets about 6 out of that.
Ran a long way to get 6. Probably ran 46 to get 6 positive yards. Ran some to our side of the field, ran to the far side of the field, and then up the sideline. So long play, all for 5 or 6 yards. Yeah, only 4 yards.
Math.
Yeah, well, it looked like he was closer to the sticks than what they actually marked it. It's kind of tough, obviously we can't see that far side super well, especially the white line over there, but
and the lighting.
Yeah, no question. 1:04 left, 2nd and 6 coming up here for Redbank Valley near midfield.
Wagner back to pass again. Pressure on him, wrapped up. About a 10-yard loss.
And Redbank going to call a timeout. I think that was Stockman on the sack there. He's having a nice night defensively. Been on quite a few stops. And then a couple of tough carries that he's had offensively as well.
We'll get a 30 in real quick here on B94.
Have you been looking for a career in the powdered metal industry? Medco Industries is now hiring. Medco Industries on Brussels Street in St. Mary's is a locally owned company offering long-term steady careers or part-time work with advancement opportunities and great benefits. Operations are regular 8-hour shifts with most weekends off. Medco's machining facility, Pro Process LLC, offers CNC operator and setup positions in a climate-controlled facility. Apply online at medcopm.com. Medco Industries, locally owned and operated in St. Mary's for over 40 years.
Back here in Redbank during the timeout. 24-7, Redbank leads Ridgeway. 57 seconds to go here in the first half. Redbank has a 3rd and 14 from their own 40.
See what they dialed up here out of this timeout. I think that's, just a coach and Coach Gold just setting up a play and saying, hey, we see something. We're going to try to, go that direction with this play call and get one more punched in before the end of the half.
Well, Ridgeway had the defensive momentum, so that kind of slowed it down a little bit. Pushing through the line, though, and
incomplete there. They were looking for Jackson Huffman there, but incomplete nonetheless. So 4th and 14 coming up.
No, they gave it to him.
Oh, did they give it to him? Wow. Okay. Well, I guess we were wrong on that. I think there was even people on the sideline that thought it was incomplete. So Huffman catches it nonetheless. Excuse us. 4th and 7, so they got half of it. We'll see if Ridgeway is up to the test. Got a sack here on set of sticks, but they got to get one more. 21 seconds left in this first half.
2 wideouts near side and far side. Wagner checking out the clock as it's under 10, so possibly last play of the half. And he'll just run it out of bounds without getting a first down, allowing Ridgeway to have 1 second on the clock.
Yeah, definitely a little surprised to see that, leaving that 1 second. I know it's not much time, and I know it's, out of Ridgeway's normal element of throwing the ball deep, but nonetheless, you never know what can happen. Some laterals, crazier things can happen. Maybe you gun one deep, gets tipped in the air.
Music City Miracle?
Absolutely. Yeah, some of those crazy games that Aaron Rodgers, 4 Hail Marys, he's won games or tied games on to send to overtime in his career. I think there was one, David Garrard, for the Jaguars.
Wow, that's a name.
Yeah, the Texans smacked it down right into, I think maybe Mike Sims Walker's hands, and they won the football game. It was crazy. So stranger things have happened. We'll see what Ridgeway can do. 1 second left here in the second half, or in this second quarter, rather.
Stockman back to pass, 3 wideouts, far side. Keeping it well past the line of scrimmage, tossed up an interception on the far side. So essentially, that will be, there is a flag down, and he's just going to
leave it outward pass. Yeah, they're just going to decline that really quick, take the interception. Redbank Valley 24-7 leading Ridgeway going into the half.
Send it out for a few minutes of timeout. We'll come back with the Bell's Meat and Poultry Show on B94.
When is the last time you really felt like your body was functioning properly? If you can't remember, then it's time for you to call Rowley Family Chiropractic of St. Mary's. They've been serving the community for 25 years. Their mission is to improve your overall quality of life by allowing your nervous system to work at its fullest potential. Want to know more? Log on RowleyFamilyChiropractic.com or call 814-834-1045. Rowley Family Chiropractic, improving health one spine at a time. Zook Motors in Kane is a proud supporter of the area's high school sports teams. They know what it means to be part of a community. Family owned and operated, they've been serving the area for almost 100 years. That's why you can trust Zooks to find you the right vehicle for your needs and price range. Best of luck to the players and coaches in today's matchup from everyone on the team at Zook Motors, your area Ford dealer just west of Kane on Route 6.
With 2 locations on Baker Alley in Ridgeway and Route 219 in Johnsonburg, Elk County Foods' friendly staff is ready to serve you. They offer daily and weekly specials, including their 5 for $24.99 in the meat department. Check out their large hot and cold deli, the freshest of fresh produce, and their own homemade beef sticks and smoked cheese. Having a get-together? Let Elk County Foods do the work for you. Elk County Foods of Ridgeway and Johnsonburg, hometown proud. Check us out on Facebook or visit us online.
For nearly 40 years, one name in the area stands out when it comes to plumbing, heating, air conditioning, and more.
Hi, this is Shirley from Newell's Plumbing and Heating and Air Conditioning. We have been providing plumbing and HVAC services in St. Mary's since 1984. Our customers are our number one priority, and we are quick to answer or return calls, especially in emergency situations. From initial estimates through the project completion, we will work with you to ensure you're 100% satisfied. Our team of technicians has a combined 88 years of experience, so we have knowledge on our side for any job. We are professional, fair, family-friendly, and work with you to understand your needs and goals. From residential to light commercial, we can ensure your plumbing and HVAC systems are running at peak performance.
For all your plumbing and heating needs, put your trust in us. Newell's Plumbing and Heating's Trout Run Road, St. Mary's.
Stop by Ridgway Fox's Pizza Den and enjoy some delicious food. The menu is filled with all your favorites, including their famous pizza, hoagies, wedgies, salads, pasta dishes, fish dinners, and more. Plus new menu items for you to try. So when you're hungry, look no further than Fox's Pizza Den at 144 North Broad Street in Ridgeway. Give them a call at 814-776-2189. Ridgway Fox's Pizza, family owned and operated since 1987. Best of luck to all the athletes and teams.
Hello, this is Michelle from Christ Family Funeral Homes. Together with my husband Roy, we own and operate Lynch Green Funeral Home in St. Mary's, Christ Funeral Homes in Ridgway and Kersey. As the largest provider of burial and cremation services in Elk County, families often turn to us in their time of need to help them create beautiful life celebrations, offer a comforting hand, and care for your family as if they're our own.
For more information, visit ChristFamilyFuneralHomes.com. That's ChristFamilyFuneralHomes.com.
You wouldn't go to a veterinarian for heart surgery, so why would you go to any body shop to have your vehicle needs repaired? Go to the Certified Collision Center, Cataldo Collision. We're certified in most.
And welcome back to Redbank. 24/7 is your score. Ridgway Marching Band out there on the field, and this is one of my favorite songs, Let It Be. So many reasons. Mom passed this one along to me as a little guy with, the big headsets from back in the 80s when I was trying to get to bed, and she's like, just listen to this, and it's just Let It Be. Thanks, Ridgway. I needed this tonight.
Yeah, soothing song, good song. It stands the test of time. Absolutely. Very, cross-generational, no question.
So shout out to the Ridgway band. Excited to hear Redbank's band. We didn't hear them this year, so they're all dressed up and ready to go too. So I can't wait to see them.
Yeah, they have all kinds of crazy costumes. A couple over there look like hunters, but they're all in the orange is spandex orange. But they could be out for a hunting trip. Truly,
they're warm tonight, though.
I think there's a Mike Wazowski from Monsters Inc. over there as well. The big green blob. Over there, if you're watching on Facebook Live or YouTube, there's a big green glob over there. I think it's Mike Wazowski from Monsters Inc. over there. So shout out to Mike, one of my childhood animation characters that I just love.
Welcome to the Bells Meat and Poultry halftime show where, we just take over. But what Bells Meat and Poultry does on Freely Street in Kane is undeniably one of the greatest things. Again, they have fed us tonight. Starting with Nate's favorite.
Yeah.
It is the honey barbecue beef sticks. Unbelievable as always. We have, this is a new one. Yeah. This is new. We have taco cheese curds. And they're a nice hunk of cheese. I don't know what cheese. It doesn't matter. I'm a cheese fiend. It could be anything.
Yeah.
Do you like blue cheese?
I do. I love blue cheese. Yes.
But cheese with taco stuff on it, unbelievable. And then one of our all-time favorites, the Cajun crab dip, which, they listened last week.
Yeah.
They brought the spice this week.
Yeah, they brought it. It hit you right in the mouth. Oh, my gosh. It really has some spice to it, but delicious nonetheless. They heard us gassing it up, here in a positive way. In terms of my rankings, it was second last week. I don't have my ledger anymore. It's long gone. I got picked on so bad by everybody in town for it, especially the guy here to my right. He started this parade of picking on me.
You're right.
Yeah, well, yeah, because you're there. You are him. You are it. Mark Barnez, the bully, here on B94.
Stop that. That is, somebody help defend me.
I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
We have fun here. Pack of hot chocolate, man. How you doing?
Wow, yeah. we got to make friends with some of these from the Bulldog community here to get some hot chocolate up here in this booth. Chilly night, crazy night, spooky night to start this ball game, Mark.
Yeah, we weren't going to start on time, and then both teams were kind of just hanging around, and then shotgun start. They said they were going to tell us, 10 minutes kind of before pregame so we could have a little pregame, and they're like, no, here's the national anthem, here's the kids running out in the field. And then essentially 24/7, that's what Redbank did. They ran out onto the field.
Yeah, I don't know if they kind of measure time differently down here in Clarion County. 10 minutes felt like 10 seconds to kind of get ready for this ball game. And unless we're here, we're not complaining at all. We're just giving folks a hard time. But seriously, yeah, quick shotgun start, 24/7 lead. Redbank Valley, their offense has been rolling. Redbank they've just been clutch on 3rd and 4th down, where Ridgway was forcing them into those situations. And I gotta say this, it's just Braylon Wagner making things happen. It's a veteran player, it's a guy that's been all district before, all state level player, led this ball club for a while now. He's just having a heck of a night, and his teammates continue to step up, make catches, but it's really he's been the guy setting things up and set the stage for them.
I just got a text from JJ. It's 28-0 Keystone at half.
Keystone on the road, McKean County. Taking it to the Wolves. Wow.
I guess I should give him a score update, too, unless he's watching the stream.
Absolutely. Wow. Shout out to Keystone. They've been a pesky team all year. They've lost some ball games, late in the ball game a few times. They're better than their record indicates. We've said that on air, no question about it, at least half a dozen times throughout this season. And they're proving that. They've gone up to Kane, an 8-2 football team. And as I said earlier, Mike Wazowski, he is here and he is doing well.
Is he doing the gritty across? I'm such a child.
Yeah, the greenie across, I think, because that was close, but I don't think you can do the gritty in quite a costume such as that. It just doesn't allow.
You know what I want to hear tonight? And I'm wondering if Redbank's going to pull it out of their pocket, because we want to give the band their due as well. Did they learn Thriller for tonight?
That would be really, really festive.
With the dance.
Yeah.
From 13 going on 30.
That would be amazing.
By the way, I just gave up one of my favorite movies.
Or like Monster Mash or anything like that, for festivities. Even if they don't play any music like that, they certainly are dressed for the occasion. We got football players out here. We got Scream costumes, hunters. Mike Wazowski's in front of us. The more the merrier. They certainly are festive as all get out here down in New Bethlehem tonight.
I'm waiting. You're going to enjoy this, folks. Hold on.
Adams family. Very festive. Yeah. Love it. So neat.
No.
Is it not?
This is Imagine Dragons.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
It sounded like the Adams family song to start. Wow. Well, that's kind of how they do make music. A lot of things sound alike to start. But yeah, this is Imagine Dragons.
Oh, now I'm getting peanut galleries from home saying our announcing is wonderful tonight.
Oh, good. Yeah. I appreciate that. Whoever peanut gallery is.
With laughing emojis.
Yeah.
So
a little sarcasm there. Well, sorry, folks.
That's what it is.
It is what it is. But we're having a great time down here. Awesome to be on the call here, bringing you a District 9 quarterfinal action in this what's been an awesome football season all around. We've seen these Elkers 2 times. This is our 3rd time, Mark, and there's no doubt that they're a good football team. But they really got to dig deep here in the second half.
I was just going to say 10:30 left to go here at halftime. Let's take a quick break, come back, and dive into some of your nugs for the second half for both teams. Redbank on top, 24/7 here on B94.
Grilling season is never over, and that means a trip to Bell's Meat and Poultry in Kane for the best cuts of beef, chicken, and pork that money can buy. Whether it's a big juicy burger, mouth-watering steak, delicious chops, sizzling sausage, or fresh chicken, it all tastes better from Bell's. Pick up some beef sticks, some special smoked cheese, spicy dip, a world-famous griller, ham or chicken salad, and more at Bell's Meat and Poultry in Kane. Open 7 days a week to serve you. Johnson's Tire Service on Route 6 in Clarendon has been your Goodyear tire dealer for over 40 years. If you're in the market for a new set of truck tires, Johnson's Tire Service is your area dealer for Goodyear, Michelin, and other brands. They offer alignment service for trucks, motorhomes, and trailers. Call 814-723-3950 or find them online at johnsonstire.com. Johnson's Tire Service thanks their customers for their positive reviews, earning a top-rated service center distinction by Carfax. You've heard it said before that financial security doesn't come easy. You have to plan for it, work for it, and manage your money wisely. In today's financial world, it sure helps to have a bank that helps with that process. At Hamlin Bank, they are the bank that takes care of its customers. Visit one of their locations in Smethport, Kane, Mount Jewett, Eldred, Bradford, Olean, New York, St. Mary's, and their newest branch in Sheffield. See them online at hamlinbank.com. Member FDIC.
If you're planning on having masonry work done this year, call the pros at Steger Masonry in Ridgway at 772-7083. Their years of experience will make sure the job's done right. Call Steger Masonry at 772-7083, 772-7083, Steger Masonry in Ridgway. Schedule your masonry work with the pros. Remember, masonry is no hobby.
And welcome back. Halftime here between Redbank and Ridgeway, 24-7. Redbank leads. Marching band playing Dream On right now. Went to break. Taking care of more of our Bell's Meat and Poultry, the Cajun crab dip, the taco cheese curds, your honey barbecue beef sticks, and then our pallet of Ritz crackers that we get week in and week out because we love them. Yeah. So JJ switched to Ritz crackers, by the way. Yeah, I know. He said the club crackers, are good, but he went with our, Ritz crackers once in a while. He's like, so much by that place. I told you at the beginning of the year, JJ.
We know what we're talking about.
We're two fat guys.
B94. We know. We understand. We know our crackers quite well on this station. Thank you very much. And I'm proud that you have, made an audible here. Very, very appropriate for football, making an audible to the Ritz crackers.
Welcome to the Bell's Meat and Poultry Halftime Show on B94, where we just go nuts. Let's get into your nugs of the second half. Let's start with Redbank right now. Up 24-7. Essentially, clock is on your side the rest of the way.
Yeah, absolutely. I think they're not content yet, though. No question. I think some teams would come out and say, even though we haven't run the ball other than with Braylon Wagner, we're going to start running the football. I don't think they're content. I think that they understand that, once they get, a little bit more comfort, then they might start running the ball. But we really haven't seen many carries other than Braylon Wagner, kind of broken plays, quarterback draws, things of that nature, a couple quarterback keepers. But yeah, for them, I think they're going to come out doing similar things. Getting everybody involved, down the field, screen game, crossers. They've done everything offensively in terms of the pass game. They really haven't left any stone unturned for sure. So yeah, I expect a lot of high tempo once again from Redbank Valley. They kind of have Ridgeway on their heels, unfortunately, to say that. But yeah, they've kind of found a crease, and they're unfortunately they're exploiting it here Friday night for Halloween.
I expect a lot more Wagner Hoffman back to back with those little touch passes or something, because Hoffman's so fast.
He's so quick. Yeah, the flip plays, no question. He is a wrinkle there. He's got great hands. His awareness is fantastic. Went over the 1,000-yard mark here tonight for the season. Wagner went over 2,000 yards passing here for the season as well. Finding all different kinds of receivers. Excuse me, but yeah, it's those guys. They have a great connection. Two veteran leaders on this team, and very, very capable ball players. I agree. You gotta keep it in the hands of the guys that got you here, and those are the two that certainly have led them offensively, amongst others, no doubt.
And for Ridgeway now, trailing 24-7 here at the half. What do you see? What do they need to do?
Yeah, seriously, they got to get off the field on defense. That's what's really been their Achilles heel. They have them 3rd and 10, 3rd and 8, 4th and 10, 3rd and 14, and they're cashing in on that, which is where Ridgeway's been so solid all year long is really in those situations, forcing those situations and really being pesky on defense. Unfortunately, they had a slow start in this one again, similar to week 1. So it's going to take a crazy defensive effort. They can't give up much of anything at all. But offensively, they're still in this ball game. But there might come a point, where they might have to play a little bit outside of their comfort zone. What they've seen, potentially might have to get the passing game going a little bit more, a little bit deeper sort of routes and things. But it's not quite to that point yet. So for them, it really comes out. You got to set the tempo. You got to drive it right down the field, find ways, to kind of make Redbank Valley retreat, and then your defense has to get a stop. That's what's key. First 2 drives, once for their offense, once for their defense. You can't think too far past that. So you really got to take care of, the first drive, let's get points, and then you got to get it, a 3 and out, or, not give up much yardage to get the ball back, and then you never know what can happen.
And I know in the second quarter at the tail end, I said the perfect time to start trying for the strip. You can't play that whole second half like that because you're playing more for the strip than comparative to getting the tackle. If you don't make the strip, giving up another 5-6 yards at a crack, you kind of have to go back to what brought you here of, sound tackling and then this wrapping up. They're getting close to Wagner. The pressure's there. This Wagner is just so, he's a monster.
He is.
He's got eyes all over, and he's just moving around up the middle, on the ends. He's crazy. Maybe you have to have somebody just contain him. Here you go, Stockman. Yeah, that's your boy.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, kind of the spy is kind of what you're alluding to. Kind of have a guy that just marks him wherever he goes. You're with him. He doesn't get any free release at quarterback draws, broken plays. You're just going with Wagner all night, and we're gonna have to man up, which is really not always the greatest thing to do, but I think you might have to take some of those chances like you're alluding to, Mark, no question, because he's really a game wrecker. He's a monster, fitting for Halloween.
That's a monster.
Absolutely. But no, you're right. I think there is, a lot of merit to what you're saying and saying Wagner cannot get loose again. It's really, really been huge. The passing game, everybody's going deep, clearing out, and then he's just getting the 8, 10, 14 yards, 12 yards in front of him, and then they just move the stick. So, pretty decent coverage on many plays. They've given up some, but it's really been Wagner's legs that's really been doing the damage, no doubt.
Do you have, I know I'm going to throw you, Johnny, on the spot, do you have a Spitzer Auto World score update from anywhere? And I'm sure Duber is going to be sending you everything as I say this right now. So, Dubes, whatever you got to do, get it to Nate as I run through this real quick.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Central Clarion's up big on Perry Traditional Academy. The game is practically over at this point. Perry Traditional Academy hasn't played in a few weeks. Really, low in terms of the numbers. They play in the Pittsburgh City League down there in the WPIAL. But Central Clarion, they've been a team on a mission. They're up, I believe, 49-0 last that I knew. So that's all but over, for Central Clarion. Like you said, I believe, what was it, Keystone over Kane, and what I think not many people necessarily expected, but Keystone on the road to McKean County taking care of Kane early.
28-0.
28-0 at half. I mean, a little bit of a shocker there. I thought that would be more competitive, but I'll say this about Kane. If anybody knows anything, Kane has, they came back from behind against Ridgway, scored 21 unanswered points. So that game's not quite over yet. I know it looks really grim, but don't count out the Wolves. The Wolves have a really strong fan base, and they're coached very well. The Bodemers are awesome coaches, and obviously Matt was a fantastic all-state, all-district player. Many times led them to the PIAA state semifinals his senior year. But yeah, no, don't count Kane out. I know it's lopsided right now, but Kane has gutted out these crazy wins before, so it really comes for them. Similar to Ridgway, you got to come out quick in the second half to kind of say, hey, we let things get away with us in the first half, but it's not over. It starts, right off the bat in the second half. You got to set the momentum for how the rest of the game is going to go.
Again, while we have a moment, I want to thank all our sponsors. Guys, if you are in St. Mary's Insurance, Lindbergh Furniture, Epic, Sons of Little Italy, any of our sponsors that you hear on B94 or across Laurel Media, when you go there and support them, tell them thank you for what they do for us so we can get you high school football, basketball, baseball, softball, everything we talk about here on B94 and the Hound. Make sure you tell them thank you very much. We want to thank our sponsor for tonight for the stream, Epic HVAC, being able to provide you this. And, of course, we are continuing to look for sponsors for basketball season right around the corner. What were we saying, about less than a month away?
Yeah, just a smidge over a month away. I think it's the day after Thanksgiving. Officially, you can have a sanctioned PIAA basketball game. So, yeah, I mean, just a tick over a month away. I think our first game is December 3rd, if we're not mistaken. I have a couple more score updates really quick. Yeah, Union AC Valley 28 over Cameron County's 12 in the second quarter. Keystone 28. Nothing half. Like we said, Central Clarion got another one, 56-0 over Perry in the second quarter. Clearfield 7, USO nothing, which is another WPIAL team. That's at half. And then in a District 6/8/9 game, DuBois 28, Mifflin County 7. So, a good start over there for the DuBois Beavers. And then obviously tomorrow I'm on the call for Brockway and in St. Mary's. 3A championship game, a rematch from last year.
That'll be you and JJ. I believe JJ's moving that to the Hound. So if everybody from the El County region is looking to help support St. Mary's, it'll be on the Hound. It'll be JJ and Nate. Apologize, I have obligations prior to scheduling, so there's that. But one more time, if you're just joining us, we want to give a special shout out to the St. Mary's volleyball team and the El County Catholic volleyball team, bringing home the District 9 championships. Congratulations to both of them as well. All right, we're set to start the second half. Ridgeway will start with the ball. They'll be going left to right on your dial. Picked up about the 20-yard line. That's Kilpeck will bring it out to about the 35.
Yeah, not bad field position, decent return. Ridgeway, you got to get the ball moving. Kind of had some stalemates there on some of those drives. They had a really, really strong touchdown drive with the short field. But now, hopefully, some adjustments were made in the halftime break, and they can come out here and show a little bit more fight, a little bit more life on the offensive side.
Listen, Heindel is a little bit of a super genius when it comes to football. He has a lot of knowledge, and I know he's made those adjustments at halftime.
Absolutely. You don't win 4 straight District 9 championships for nothing. Very, very great head coach. Very lucky to have played for him when I was playing football
I have
time ago.
No idea who had that. Gert got the snap, faked it to Stager, faked it to Stockman, and I think it then went to Stager.
Yeah, and they really got about 1 inch out of it. That's about all they really got, unfortunately. Kind of like a little hot potato there, all a lot of hoopla for very, very minimal gain there. So 2nd and 10 coming up here for Ridgeway.
In the third quarter, 24-7. Redbank leads this one. Allegretto's going to be driven down behind the line of scrimmage. Big number 79 for Redbank was Johnny on the spot. They have 50-plus kids on this roster.
Yeah, lots of kids, absolutely. Big football team. Not the most experienced, especially up front. That's a set of, position group that Blaine Gold talked to me about. They've really stepped up and grown this season. Just one senior on the offensive line, I believe similarly on the defensive line. Not a lot of experience, but, obviously they're having a good night. They've pushed Ridgeway around quite a bit. 3rd and 11 ensuing here on this first drive of the second half for Ridgeway.
Formation. That's going to go to Stockman. Flips it to Gerg, who's going to pick up a couple before being driven down, essentially by the defensive line.
Yeah, just all over the place. The kind of the press defense that Redbank is playing, they're just all over this Ridgeway attack, and another punting situation coming up. Casilio will seemingly be back deep to kick another one. I was up at practice, and this kid's just a sophomore. I don't know if he's kicked much. I don't think he really has, but man, if he keeps working, I think this is a kid that has a potential to play on Saturdays. He's a great kicker and punter here for Ridgeway.
Yeah, Penn State's going to need a punter.
And it's going to be faked by Ridgeway.
Oh! And Stager does not. He attempted to drag that foot. He caught it. He attempted to drag his foot, but it was just out of bounds. Heck of a play. I like that. Just a little bit more inside, and that's a first down plus.
Yeah, it was a great throw, just a little bit too deep. Stager just couldn't get the toe tap in, and now short field for Redbank Valley. That could have been a huge swing in the momentum, but now, kind of the momentum here, seemingly with Redbank Valley. Ridgeway, you got to dig deep now. You can't give up anything on this drive.
4 wideouts, 2 on each side. Wagner in the shotgun. Checks, runs to his right. Has room if he gets by Allegretto, and he is on his horse. Gets a block in front of him. Down to about the 15-ish.
Yeah, quite a quarterback run there for Wagner. Those legs just been huge. And, obviously his running game, as Coach Gold told me coming into this one, is really continued to emerge as the season has gone on. And he wasn't lying. He's had a huge night on the ground.
No comment about the punting situation in Penn State, my buddy? We didn't have an NCAA version yet tonight, so.
Well, the punter for Penn State is 6'7", 300 pounds, and he is a stud. And we are lucky to have him because he's one of the few bright spots from this season.
Handoff's going to go nowhere. Yep, that was me clapping in the back because Pitt's on their way to Stanford. Well, they're in Stanford already, so big game tomorrow. First time in 103 years Pitt has been out there.
Yeah, I was actually just out at Stanford in May. Quite an experience out there. Really cool environment. I'm sure, Pitt will be ready. Stanford football just in a tough situation. It might be a few years till they're back. Pitt, you have to have this one. Their last 3 games, really, really tough tests for the Panthers.
Let's not talk about that yet. Wagner running it right up the middle. First down. Close to a first down.
Yeah, Redbank Valley.
Pedal to the metal.
Yeah, they have not let up, like I said, and they can't. They have to. Nothing's guaranteed. A lot of things can happen. Stranger things have happened. They did have a turnover earlier in the game, and Ridgway cashed in on that. But yeah, for them, they're still in full attack mode. 3rd and 3 coming up from the 9-yard line. They can still get a first down.
24-7 your score. 8:10 to go here in the third quarter. I'll get serious now. Wagner attempts and then plows forward.
Going to be close to a first down.
Side judge is saying move the sticks.
Yeah, I think he got it by just a little bit. So now a 1st and goal situation for Redbank Valley. I believe it's going to be about the 5-yard line.
That's what it looks like.
Yeah, Redbank Valley.
Man, they have not stopped.
No, they have not stopped at all. Their offense is rolling. And Ridgway just unfortunately has not been able to contain Wagner. And Coach Heino said that was going to be key coming in. Unfortunately, they just haven't been able to do it so far.
Wagner scans, dances around, tosses it in the end zone, diving catch. Touchdown. Wow, I wasn't sure if he was in or not. They gave it to him. 30-7 your score. 7:23 to go here in the third. Well, I would imagine a 2-point conversion, right?
Yeah, certainly. They've had great success on it. They've got another touchdown out of it. 6 points out of those situations. Heck of a catch over there by that Redbank wide receiver. Not exactly sure who that was, but he laid out. Wagner put it right on the money. And again, unbalanced line situation for the Redbank Valley Bulldogs. Wagner in the shotgun. Takes the snap, rolls out to his right. He's got a man on him. Throws and intercepted by Ridgeway at the goal line. So that's the first time. And they've certainly made some adjustments, it looks like. And it was a good job to shut that down. But Redbank out in front now, 30-7 after a touchdown drive.
Send it out for a quick break here on B94.
Heating and cooling done right, guaranteed. Epic heating and cooling, all day or night when you need. Epic heating and cooling. Epic. Every time we show up for you. Epic. Making your day feel epic, like a superhero. Epic. Heating and cooling experts. Tried, trusted, and true. Every install feels epic. When the time comes, you'll know. You know you've got our trusted team for the cold and heat. Epic heating and cooling, all day or night when you need. Epic heating and cooling done right, guaranteed. Epic heating and cooling.
And welcome back to Redbank kickoff. Picked up about the 10-yard line by Zimmerman. On his horse, wide open spaces, blockers in front of him.
And he's gone. Jace Zimmerman, no flags on the field that I see, and that is a huge play for Ridgway. Takes seemingly no time off the clock. Big return there. And Ridgway showing a little life here in this third quarter. That's a play that you almost
90 plus.
Yeah, you can't really draw it up much better than that, That's just huge for Ridgway. So not done yet, says the Elkers.
A stop. We have essentially 20 minutes. I'm rounding. 20 minutes of football left. A stop, another score. They climb into it. It's there.
Yeah.
We've seen Ridgway come back from these almost insurmountable scores.
Yeah, and Ridgway's defense probably hasn't played a worse game so far this season. I'm serious when I say that, and I mean that politely. Broken play now on this 2-point conversion, and it's going to be knocked down by Redbank Valley, so going to stay at a 30-13 score. Ridgway gets 6, but no more.
So we'll send it out for a quick 30 here on B94.
Lindbergh Furniture, that's the star.
Where you'll find bargains galore.
Bob and Bonnie will save you cash.
And deliver your furniture in a flash.
Lindbergh.
Lindbergh Furniture wants to congratulate the teams playing in tonight's game. Congratulations on all you've achieved this year. They're proud of you and your success. You're a fine example of our area youth.
Following a 90-plus yard kickoff return by Jace Zimmerman, your score 30-13. We're going to give a shout-out to Hoffman with the touchdown grab on the far side for Redbank as well. Bang-bang plays.
Yeah, two out of 3 plays, touchdowns. One for Redbank Valley, one for Ridgway. Ridgway had to have that. That was to me, Mark, the equivalent of a free throw in basketball, because it basically took no time off the clock, and it really claws you back into a ball game. Really important, kind of special teams play there for Ridgway, and now they got to be up to the test. They got to get a stop. They haven't had many of them here tonight, and this defense, they have to really pick up and play more to their standard, which they've set throughout this season. I'm saying this truly politely, but yeah, they really got to get these stops.
Kind of a faked onside kick, and then Ridgway pulls back. They had a couple guys moving. They'll do it anyway, and flag on the play, I believe illegal touching, and then Redbank is on it anyway.
I give him credit.
I do too.
That's a great chance you take there. You get the ball right back. You say we still have some time. But yeah, I think touched it maybe just a smidge prematurely, maybe even less than half a yard prematurely. But yeah, it is going to be illegal touching. Redbank Valley at their 50, at their 50. It's everybody's 50. Going to take it over at the 50-yard line, or just maybe in front of it. They're officially going to put it at the 48, 47-yard line, I think. It's our 50, it's their 50, it's everybody's 50. It's kind of the only one out there, Nate. Jeez.
Then you make fun of me.
Well.
Back to pass for Wagner. In and out of the hands, and is it? Did they say he came down with it?
And
yes,
sure
he did.
Yes.
Wow, tipped around, and then Jace Zimmerman comes down with the interception. It looked close. He was blocking our vantage point if it bounced. One saying a good completion. Now they're going to kind of look at it. Redbank's coach is Johnny on the spot saying, hey, he said this, you said that.
Yeah, Coach Gold wants an explanation, not thrilled about that call, but nonetheless, they spot the ball. It's Ridgway taking over. They don't get the onside kick. Next play, they get it right back, though. So Ridgway knocking on the door for another chance. Let's see if they can cash in on another turnover by the Bulldogs.
Going to go to Gerg. Gerg off to the left. He's got blockers. Gerg up to the 50. Going to fall forward. I imagine they're going to mark him a little short of the first down. Nope, one saying move it, so they're going to give him a first down.
Yeah, first down. Good direct snap there to Gerg, and he does the rest. Picks up 10, and now They're at the 50, not anybody's 50. It's owned by everybody in the game. There's only one of them. So I know that, folks. Sorry about that. So 1st and 10 from the 50-yard line. It's not anybody. It's the.
It's like the Ohio State.
Oh, jeez, don't do that.
Man in motion is Zimmerman. Going to go to Stockman. Stockman, possible face mask. Stockman fighting forward to get to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, he gets right back. He battled through about 5 or 6 tacklers, ran really hard. I think they gave him a smidge on that. Thinking when he fell forward, he might have stuck the ball out there and got a little smidge, but not much there. He fought off a lot of tacklers. So 2nd and long ensuing for the Elkers.
30-13 your score. Redbank leads with 5:55 to go here in the 3rd quarter. It's in high school sports on B94. Mark Martinez alongside Nate Stice.
Steger in motion, and he gets it around the left side, and he's met right at the line of scrimmage again by Redbank Valley. Might have fell forward for a yard, but not much there. Good open field tackling by that defense.
I believe that was 15, bringing him down.
There's Riley Schreckengoss, the defensive lineman junior, 5'10", 141. He does more of an outside linebacker. 141, I don't know many on the line that are that size, but still a tough, hard-nosed tackle out there by Schreckengoss on that play.
Want to bring up 3rd and 10 from the 50. 5 to go here in the 3rd quarter, 30-13. Man, numbers.
It's all right.
Numbers, Mark.
Stockman finds Steger, and Steger picks up a 1st down for the Elkers. Keep this drive alive. Needed to have it, and they came up big on 3rd down. Good pitch and catch there from Stockman to Nate Steger.
Ridgway offense, this couple minutes here in the 3rd quarter, really moving the ball well. I think it really started with that jolt from Zimmerman on that kick return. It just kind of gives you that little oomph in the rear saying, we're good to go, boys. Come on.
Absolutely, yeah. Zimmerman having a nice season, young kid. Doesn't mean he's not ready for the moment, though. Absolutely. He gets the huge return, and then he comes up with the interception. Ridgway moving the ball here. Just under 5 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter, but some momentum back in the Elkers' favor.
Stockman in the shotgun. Let's go. Steger in motion. Fake it. Stockman's going to keep it himself. Running right up the middle. Lowers his head. Continues to drag Bulldogs with him.
Wow, best, through the tackle running of the night for Ridgway. Xavier Stockman finishes that run hard. And Ridgway nearing this red zone. Huge run. And I was talking to you on the way down about Xavier Stockman. He's a quarterback, obviously. He likes to throw the ball. I think it's fun. I get it. The air raid is a fun thing to do. But I think he's really embraced being a runner in recent weeks. Like I said, almost 200 yards on the ground last week as a runner. And you can see why. Tough, hard-nosed kid at that quarterback spot.
This one goes to Gerg, who's going to quickly give it to Steger. Did I see a flag go up in the air?
Yeah, back judge threw a flag there, so we'll see what they potentially call here.
Play stand, Steger gets about 5.
Yeah, pretty good 1st down run, but we'll see how the referee's going to have their little conference here, and the head official about to make this call. Chop block on Ridgway, so they're going to be backed up, unfortunately.
Last time, I mean, you don't want chop blocks, clearly, but last time they got a chop block, they had a heck of a nice 15-yard gain the next play.
Yeah, they did. They had a 15-yard pass play, and then they picked up, I believe, another 5 or 7 yards after that, and they just couldn't quite cash in on that. But Ridgway really backed up now. 1st and 25. They were just outside the red zone, and now, tough place to be in terms of Ridgway offensively.
Man in motion. Going to go with Steger to the left. Steger's got blocking in front of him. Gets it back probably to the original line of scrimmage. Maybe a couple of yards short.
Yeah, heck of a run. Direct snap. He fakes it, keeps it, and gets around the outside. And there's not really too many that can chase down Nate Steger. Good angle tackle there for Redbank Valley. Good pursuit. And that was a pretty good gain of 12 there for Nate Steger on 1st down.
I'll bring up 2nd and 13. 3:30 to go here in the third quarter. 30-13, Redbank. Stager to the left. Decides to go back up the middle where there's a hole. Picks up a few.
Yeah, another good run. And, I mean, you got to talk about, did you see that block that 77 from the Elkers laid? Wow. Talk about a pancake. That's, I believe that, yeah, it's Logan Hake there, the sophomore offensive lineman. Wow. That's a pancake block if I've ever seen. Wow, that was one of the better blocks I think I've seen all year in terms of finishing the play. That sprung Stager for another positive gain. 3rd and 9 here for the Elkers. Let's see what they can do on this 3rd and long play.
From the 14. Stockman back to pass. Tosses it in the end zone. Touchdown!
What a play. What a play. What a throw by Stockman. Got to see who that was. I believe it was Kilpack. It sure was. The tight end comes up huge in the corner of the end zone. So Ridgway fighting back here, 30-19. Redbank still in front. But Ridgway,
on the move.
They're on the move. So momentum in the Elker favor.
You go for 1 or 2 right now.
I mean, to be honest, I probably 1, but I don't know. They are going to go for 2. You know, you get it to 10. There's more you can do with 10, but if you get 2, it doesn't really change if it's 10 or 9. And they are unfortunately not going to get that. Good job by the Redbank Valley secondary to come up with that tackle. So it's going to remain 30-19, 2:39 left in this third quarter.
Send it out for a quick break here on B94.
When it comes to protecting your home, your car, your family, or your business, why trust someone miles away when the best is right here in Elk County? St. Mary's Insurance Agency, along with Borst Insurance in Ridgeway and the Smith Keats Agency in Johnsonburg, have been named Elk County's best insurance agency 5 years running. We're not just in the community, we're proud to be part of it. Stop by one of our offices, give us a call, or visit us online at stmariesagency.com.
Welcome back to Redbank. 30-19 your score. 2:39 to go here in the third quarter. Ridgeway just scored a touchdown, missed a 2-point conversion.
Yeah, Ridgeway, 12 unanswered. You know, huge swing of momentum. Some, you know, the return by Zimmerman, the interception by Zimmerman, and then Kilpack finishes that drive. Stockman to Kilpack on that passing touchdown. So Ridgeway, you know, showing some life here. Again, you know, they come down to Redbank Valley, New Buffalo, and slow start, but they're willing their way into this ball game. You know, this is just digging deep and saying, guys, our season's almost over if we don't, you know, dig deep and find a way to gut ourselves back in this, and they sure are. So credit to Ridgeway for doing that here in this third quarter.
Did Ridgeway get tricky again? I mean, clearly Redbank has the hands team in now, being prepared for this.
Yeah, they're leaving what they're doing though is they're leaving that middle of the field open though. But we'll see. I think they're just going to kick it deep, and they squib it, and it takes a funky bounce, but Redbank there to return it.
Big hit, nice tackle. Would love to tell you who it was, but back of the jersey's dirty.
Yeah, it's tough. It might have been Gerg. It certainly looked like him.
So that'll bring up a 1st and 10 for Redbank.
Again, it goes back to containing Braylon Wagner. You know, that's obviously the point of emphasis. You have to keep him, you know, kind of in that tackle box, kind of in the pocket per se, and not let him use his feet to buy time and let those receivers get open. But easier said than done.
Same formation, 2 wideouts, man in motion, ball on the 33. Wagner to keep it himself, runs to the left, has room, picks up the 1st down, gets out to about the 50-yard line.
Looked like Josh Allen on that one. Quarterback sweep, yeah. Big hard-nosed kid, Braylon Wagner, coming downhill. Big gainer there on 1st down. That'll move the sticks.
We're going to officially mark it at the 48.
Yeah, the thing about doing, you know, the squib kicks and the onside kicks is that, you know, if you don't recover it, you know, you give the other team short field, and Redbank has cashed in on a lot of those chances here tonight.
Little touch pass. That's going to go to Hoffman. Hoffman's going to be wrapped up, though, in the backfield. Maybe making it back to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, maybe inch the ball. Huffman, old reliable receiver.
Between Nate Steger with a tackle at the line. They're going to give him one.
Yeah, I'm going to give him a gain of just one. Picked up a little bit there on that flip play, and that goes back to what you said, Mark. It's just getting a guy in space, and that's another way to do it outside of, just having Wagner run every single play or get broken pass plays and end up running it out of that.
Redbank lives in this formation. Wagner rolls to the left.
And he was hit. Wow. Great pursuit there. That's just getting the guy. Stockman, and there's going to be a flag.
Yep.
Late flag comes in. I think Ridgway might have got a little bit too excited after that play, unfortunately.
Yeah. You can't let the frustration in.
Yeah, either side. But Redbank's actually backing way up, so no, that was actually going to be on Redbank, I think. I think they know that they're the guilty party. They've already backed themselves way up.
He was getting ready to make the announcement.
Yeah, they call it unsportsmanlike on Redbank. I missed exactly what happened. I kind of thought it was on Ridgway because you could hear the hooting and hollering and you could see the guys jumping around the sideline, kind of the whole 9 yards. But I think there might have been a little bit something extra that we missed there, and Redbank gets penalized on that. The referees, I think they're going to talk about this a little bit more to make sure they get the down and distance right.
They're going to say third and a lot.
Yeah, third and a country mile coming up here. Ridgway, exactly where you want them, but this is where Redbank has converted quite a few times tonight.
Wagner still scrambling in the back. Under pressure, tosses it up. Complete. A little bit behind the original line of scrimmage, so bring up a 4th and 13.
Yeah, 4th and 13, 4th and 14. That was Nate Steger on that tackle. Good job to limit the yards after the catch there. So 4th and 14 officially coming up for Redbank Valley. We might just see them take this right into the fourth quarter as the play clock.
They're
identical, but I think the game clock is just a tick before the play clock, so they're just going to be content taking it into the fourth quarter, flipping the side of the field. 30-19. These Bulldogs over the visiting Elkers here in round 1 of the District 9 playoffs.
Send it out for a quick break here on B94.
Hey, yo, listen up, fam. The Sons of Little Italy in Elk County is serving the most authentic pizza and heroes around. It's like it's straight from Italy in New York, right to your plate. Are you craving that mafia-grade taste? Well, this is the place for you. So get this, they've got differing hours each day. If you want to find out when they're open, do me a favor. Get onto their Facebook page, like them, and then take a peek. Now, they're closed on Sundays and Mondays because, hey, even gangsters need a little breather from what I hear. So, get your hands on the Take and Bake DiCerbo and Enzo pies. They're fresh bread, heroes, and more. You can order now online at thesonsoflittleitaly.com. That's thesonsoflittleitaly.com. Call them up, 814-773-3199. Now listen, don't wait, Capos. This ain't no chain joint. It's the real deal. Storm in and taste the legacy today. The Sons of Little Italy, 25 Luray Drive in Ridgeway.
You know JJ had a blast making that, thinking he was the godfather the whole time.
Yeah, hopefully they gave him some pizza pie for that, because that was a heck of a commercial ad there, no doubt. And that punt is sky high, and it's just going to bounce and then take a little bit of a favorable bounce to Redbank Valley. But the Ridgway Elkers, they're threatening here in this fourth quarter on a little bit of a roll here, some momentum on their side. They trail 30-19, 11:50 to go here in this fourth quarter. But wow, some momentum towards their way. Got to have the score here.
I'm still thinking about JJ, thinking he's a Goomba.
Yeah. That fired me up about wanting to get some pizza, I'll tell you that. I truly haven't had the Sons of Italy yet, unfortunately, but I know the word's out there. They make a mean pizza pie, and I'm excited to try it hopefully someday soon.
Oh, their subs are amazing too. Ridgeway's going to start with the ball on the 30, 11:50 to go here in the game. They trail 30-19 in motion. Stockman's going to keep it himself. Plow up the middle. One or two before the dog pound wraps him up.
Yeah, everybody was in there. Even the corners from Redbank Valley were there on the gang tackling. Unreal. So I think you're going to give him 2 or 3. Yeah, you're going to give him 3 on that gainer.
We'll mark it at the 33 then.
2nd and 7 coming up here. This is a big drive for Ridgeway. You know,
huge.
This is a massive, massive drive. They got to have it. Move the ball exceptionally well on that last touchdown drive. See if they can keep that momentum on their side or if Redbank's up for the challenge.
It's going to go to Stockman. Unleashes, and it's going to be over the head of Stager. Excuse me. To bring up a 3rd down.
Oh, and Stockman slow to get up. He got drilled on that play. But he bounces back up after taking a second. Just couldn't connect with Stager there. So 3rd and 7, 3rd and long coming up for Ridgeway.
Again, while we have a minute, I want to thank all our sponsors here across the board on Laurel Media. If you're in and around any of them, make sure you tell them thanks for everything that you do to get us football, basketball, baseball, and everything sports related on B94 and the Hound. And if you're interested in being a sponsor, give Kier a call on Monday. Gerg will keep it himself, do a little reverse, and wrapped up at the original line of scrimmage, losing yards on that play.
Yeah, nothing there. Redbank Valley was sitting ready on that one, making sure that Gerg couldn't pick up anything. So 4th and 8 situation, obviously going to lead to an Elker punt here. Here comes Casilio.
Listen, they've been Johnny on the spot on special teams. Maybe this is their MO. Do something like that. They had a heck of a trick play that was really close. They've gotten a fumble returned instantly after one play. Their special teams has been great. So,
absolutely, yeah. And even if anything at all, get a good punt away, maybe somebody drops it, a deflection, something, stranger things have happened, and that gets tucked, but great pursuit there by the Elker offense, I guess, on that punt, you could say. And going to be tackled there by 77, Logan Hake. So good job by Hake as a offensive lineman to get down there and get that tackle.
Little chippy at midfield, but separated real quick if you're watching on the stream. Again, thank you to Epic HVAC for being the lead sponsor on the stream tonight. 10:16 left here in the game, 30-19. Redbank leads this quarter matchup in districts.
Yeah, we'll see if we see a little more quarterback power. We didn't see that in the first half really at all, but I think we might continue to see that.
Wagner does keep it himself. He is on the move. Nobody's going to catch him. 6 points on the board for Redbank, just like that. 36-19. Your score. Score update in Kane. End of the 3rd quarter. 49-0. Keystone.
So that is, obviously all but over. Kane all year kind of been those cardiac kids coming back, gutting some games out. Keystone's been on the losing end of some of those games themselves. One to Ridgeway, one to Brockway, even another one as well. And Keystone, they're tired of those sort of outcomes. And they've taken care of business of the Wolves. That field goal attempt, PAT up and good. So Redbank Valley, after some momentum from Ridgeway, they answer.
Send it out for a quick break here on B94.
Do you suffer from uncomfortable varicose veins? Are your legs restless, swollen, or sore? Athena Laser Clinic in Ridgeway, along with experienced vascular surgeon and St. Mary's native, Dr. Philip Georgievich, will be offering a free vein screening on Monday, November 3rd from 4 to 6 p.m. Stop struggling with sore and swollen varicose veins. We will see you Monday, November 3rd from 4 to 6 at Athena Laser Clinic in Ridgeway. No appointment necessary.
And welcome back to Redbank. 37-19 your score. We're getting Halloween candy tossed at us now. I love this.
I know. Very, very generous of the folks here in New Bethlehem. Thank you for, I think I got a little Reese's
Oh, if it's
pumpkin. And if it's shaped, it tastes different. They put a
I
different
agree.
They put a different peanut butter in there.
Do you know this?
I absolutely do know this.
Of course you would.
Yeah.
You're so fat. I love you.
I certainly am, and I'll tell you this. I love
What's your favorite ones?
The favorite ones. If I had to be incredibly specific, it's probably the Easter egg white chocolate.
Oh, you ruined it with white
I
chocolate.
love white chocolate. And Ridgway going to come up with it. Stager picks it
On
up.
the move, though.
The Redbank Valley, they're ready for the challenge to bring him down.
I would say the normal eggs are number one, followed by the Christmas tree.
Christmas tree, I agree, is definitely number two, no doubt. Pumpkins are pretty solid, and I'm not going to complain because I have it right here. I'm about to devour this when I have a moment, but yeah, I love white chocolate. I do like milk chocolate too. They're really close, but I don't know, something about the milk white chocolate or the white chocolate just does it for me. I love it.
We had cookies and cream before the game.
Yeah,
that
see,
was
I
delicious.
love that. Exactly, yeah. But for those that know me, they know I'm a sugar fiend, so I don't really discriminate when it comes to sugar.
10:06 left in the game. I want to continue on that. 10:06 left in the game. 37-19. Your score. Handoff is going to go to Stager, fighting for yardage on the far side. Going to pick up about 5. So, is it chocolate or candy? You know what I mean, the difference, like the sugar
for
candy.
Sure, yeah, no, chocolate. I'm a chocoholic, definitely more than anything. I do like candy, but no, chocoholic is more kind of my appetite for sure. And as you can see, like we said during the Bell's Meat and Poultry, halftime show, honey barbecue beef sticks. So right up my alley. My friends make fun of me to go out for chicken wings, honey barbecue, or any of those sort of, flavors. Like, oh yeah, no surprise. The guy with the sweet tooth, blah 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 blah. They just give me a hard time about it. But hey, I like what I like. All right, at least I know. I stand on it.
Stockman on the run, tosses it wide open. Kilpack. Pick up a heck of a lot of yards, get it across into Redbank territory. Since you're not going to ask, I'm going to tell you anyway.
Oh, please do.
My number one is Jujubes. If you find them, I'm a huge fan of Jujubes. Yeah, when you go to like the movie theaters and stuff like that, I like that. Like the hard, chewy candy. Followed by a real close number 2, Lemon Heads.
Oh, I like lemon heads. Yeah, that's one that I like the most. I think, and some people are going to obviously go, oh, disgusting. Root beer barrels are actually one of my favorite candies. I love those. My mom used to have them in her office, when I was a youngster, and I'd go there and be like, hey, Mom, you got to hit me up here, give me another.
He's going to go to Stager on the direct snap. Sprinting to the left, picking up a few close to a first down. We'll get back to the game now.
Yeah. Stager, heck of a night he's having. Picks up another big chunky yardage for the Ridgway Elkers. Despite that, big, huge play that they gave up to Wagner, they're still saying, hey, we want to show some life here. We just got to score quick, and they're doing their best to do that. Under the 9-minute mark here now. Ridgway 2nd and 2 from the 32-yard line. Little shift there from Ridgway.
And go Stager plowing forward again. Why don't you give him the first down?
Yeah, Stager unquestionably the hot hand tonight. Stockman kind of complimenting him. I'll say, Redbank, to their credit, they've really, bought up Marcus Gerg. Done a pretty nice job on him. He's run wild on a lot of teams, the last month and a half. And he's done an excellent job. But Redbank Valley understood. Yeah, they gave up 1 touchdown to him, but he really hasn't broken anything. And they've had to go to Stager and Stockman mostly in this one.
Snap's going to go to Stockman. Quick pass over to Kilpack. Kilpack stays on his feet, picks up about 5 or 6. Gavin is having a great second half.
Absolutely, yeah. Gavin having his name called quite a bit, showing he's definitely a capable pass catcher when his number is called. And he's gotten a few more looks in the second half. Necessity certainly being part of that, but no question, he's been ready when his number's been called.
7:40 to go here in the game. 37-19 your score. Redbank leads. Under center. Plowing forward is Gerg. Oh, check that. That was Stockman. Man, oh man.
Yeah, he's been running really hard between the tackles. Him and Gerg, they just go 100 miles an hour right at people, right at the line of scrimmage. They really don't care. They just tuck it and run it right up underneath in between the tackles. They have no problem playing hard-nosed football in Ridgeway.
Fresh set of downs for Ridgeway, 1st and 10 from the 17. Just over 7 minutes ago here in the game. Snap's going to go. Is that Allegretto?
That was Allegretto, yes. Good gainer there. Haven't had his number called too much. Another kid, though, very capable, and he was ready when the opportunity struck there. Big gainer. So Ridgeway in the red zone picked up 8 on that, I believe. Actually picked up more.
Yeah, it's first and goal.
Yeah, yeah, he picked up 10 plus on that. Excuse me. So yeah, 1st and goal from the 2-yard line. Ridgeway threatening to score again.
Ball on the ground, and it's going to be picked up by Redbank, and all the way to the house because nobody is going to catch him. 98-yard fumble recovery by Redbank puts them up 43-19. He said funny things happen.
Oh, man.
That's a 12-point swing.
Yeah, there is a flag on the field, so we might not have the full return, but we'll certainly see. Block in the back.
Oh, no.
Legal block in the back. So that no touchdown, but certainly a big gainer. Blaine Gold wants an explanation from the officials on exactly who and where and why.
So points off the board. We'll bring that back.
Oh, what do they call?
They
call it on Ridgeway.
So it is 43.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, I don't know how you can have a legal block in the back if you're the team that gave up the ball. That was the call, right? It was a legal block in the back.
Yeah, and Heindel's out on the field.
Yeah, he's not happy. He wants an explanation, and rightfully so. I don't understand how you can have an illegal block in the back when you're not the team with the ball.
As of right now, the points are on the board. Okay.
Yeah.
43-19, awaiting extra point.
Yeah, it's in the books. So 98-yard fumble recovery touchdown by the Redbank Valley Bulldogs defense. And, certainly that's kind of the knockout punch for them this evening. Ridgeway got it right down there, almost to pay dirt, but unfortunately turned it over, and Redbank was there to gobble it up and cash in on a long return.
Awaiting the extra point, the conventional extra point for Redbank.
And whistle here. Be encroachment penalty on Ridgeway, so they're going to move that
half an inch.
Yeah. Half the distance to the goal there.
This one might hit the Jeep then.
It might. It might.
Why'd you let me park right behind the goal?
Well, I actually didn't even know you could park over there. I didn't even realize it, and then all of a sudden you're just parked there. I'm like, well, I didn't really think about the
extra points.
Yeah, this is kind of one of those ones in like Little League baseball where you park, by the fence or anything, and like, oh, what could happen? Anybody going to hit a home run or a foul ball? Yeah, they are. And that kick is going to land in Katanning, and it did go over the fence, and it did hit Mark's car. No, I'm just kidding.
We'll send it out for a quick break here on B94.
Need a loan? Go to Mountain Laurel Federal Credit Union. I'll bet you've heard that a few times, but have you actually investigated it? They have a loan for your life. Whether it's an auto loan for a new or used vehicle, a loan for your college student, a home loan, a loan to get a boat, RV, ATV, or snowmobile, or a loan to take that long overdue vacation you need. I think you get the idea. They give out a lot of loans. Not only that, but the rates on those loans are even sweeter. Do you live, work, worship, or attend school in Elk, Cameron, McKean, or Warren County? If so, then you qualify for membership at Mountain Laurel Federal Credit Union. See how simple it can be. Visit one of their 7 locations in the area or log on to mlfcu.net. Best of luck to all the athletes competing today from Mountain Laurel Federal Credit Union, where it certainly is good to be a member.
Following a 98-yard fumble recovery and extra point, Redbank will be kicking off from midfield. They lead 44-19 with 6:15 to go here in the game.
Yeah, so seemingly probably going to be a long field, might even be a touchback here for Redbank Valley. We'll see if they kind of squib it and just try to play that field position game, and they do. That's touched by Ridgway, and that's going to be fielded by Stager. Makes a move, cuts to the outside, breaks a couple tackles, and dives forward to about the, 35-yard line, I believe.
For the situation, that's a great return.
Absolutely. I mean, standing flat-footed there, and he pretty much makes something out of nothing, makes a couple guys miss, gets to the outside, breaks a tackle. I think it's actually going to be at the 30-yard line, not the 35, excuse me. But yeah, still, I mean, all things considered, you were at the 10-yard line, 5-yard line, up against your end zone, and you pretty good return.
With people in your face.
Yeah, with people in your face. Makes some guys miss, sheds a couple tackles and finishes that nice return. So Ridgeway, 6:05 left. See what they can do on this offensive set.
In motion is going to go to Stockman. Stockman will plow forward, pick up a few. Again, program note, tomorrow it'll be Brockway and St. Mary's for the District 9 3 championship game. That game will be over on Hound. My partner, Nate, and the other guy, JJ, will have the call live from DuBois.
Yeah, first time on the call with JJ. District 9 championship game.
He likes jokes, by the way.
Yeah. I don't have any of those, so he's going to be disappointed.
It's going to go direct snap to Stager. Stager, wow, huge hit. Is that Hoffman that started that hit?
Yeah, I think that was Hoffman there, yeah. Yeah, he's pretty excited after that hit. And rightfully so. Brings him down in the backfield.
We hear 58-6 was the final.
Yeah, Central Clarion taking care of Perry. So Central Clarion, Garden City rematch. Garden City and Central Clarion 14-14 and a half. Garden City 21 straight points. They won 35-14. So an earlier season rematch between the Gremlins and the Wildcats of Central Clarion.
Gerg hands it off and wrapped up in the backfield. Redbank says we're up 44-19, but we're rushing the house every time.
Yeah, we're giving up nothing. We're going to take our chances to corral this Ridgeway rushing attack. Brings up a 4th and 14 situation for Ridgeway. Just over 4 minutes left of the ball game.
Just as the PA announcer said, big game for the Redbank seniors. Well, last time they'll play on home turf.
Absolutely, yeah. Obviously, they've defended home field here tonight, barring a comeback for the ages.
Plowing forward is Allegretto. And that'll be a turnover on downs. Redbank will start. Right there, they're not moving the sticks. There they go. Okay.
Yeah, I was going to say, you might want to do that. Definitely necessary.
3:55 to go here in the game, 44-19. See if Redbank keeps pedal to the metal. I'd be surprised if they don't, Nate.
Yeah, absolutely. They showed they were bringing the house on, those defensive plays. But Ridgeway gets a tackle there after a short gain by Redbank Valley.
Stager there with the tackle.
2nd and 9 ensuing here as we tick down towards the 3:30 mark.
Barring something crazy, folks. This is Ridgeway's last game of the year. Regular season 5-5. We said it in a kind of shortened pregame show. Not picked to get here. They young, ready to go. I love everything they have moving forward.
Absolutely. You lose just 2 seniors. You got to like what you're bringing back, no question. And this is a very senior-laden team from Redbank Valley, and they battled them pretty tough. I know they gave up some big plays, but they had some momentum there in the third quarter, and then obviously the early part of the fourth quarter. But experience, some turnovers, kind of too much. A quick start again by Redbank Valley, too much in this one. But you're absolutely right, Mark. Ridgeway has a lot coming back. They got to be proud of what they digging themselves out from 1-4. That was a tough start. They lost a lot of close ball games, but this time around next year, I think that they could be one of the favorites coming into the District 9 Single A next year, no doubt.
Still in the shotgun, 1st and 10 for Redbank on the 21 of Ridgeway. Handoff up the gut, plowing through and into the end zone for yet another score for the Bulldogs. Just pouring it on now.
Yeah, that makes it 50-19 in favor of the Bulldogs there. That was Carson Gold there, I believe, on the touchdown run. I'm just going to go with the another point after try here. And kick is up and good.
51-19 your score here in Redbank. Redbank punching their ticket to move on, barring something crazy in 2 minutes and 20 seconds.
When you want a hometown feel with plenty of options, you choose Spitzer Outer World St. Mary's, where the service is fun, fast, easy, and now backed by the Spitzer Shield. When you choose us, you choose a variety of brand new vehicles across 3 separate lots. When you choose us, you choose to know everything we've done to make our pre-owned vehicles second to none. A rigorous inspection process performed by factory-trained technicians and professional detail inside and out. Visit us along the $1 Million Highway today for all of your Chevrolet, GMC, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, Ford needs. Spitzer Outer World St. Mary's, our world revolves around you.
51-19 your score, 2:20 to go here on B94. Redbank in control of this game. Mark Martinez along Nate Stice. Thanks everybody for watching and listening across the stream and on the radio. Well, 3 quarters was great, and then Redbank says that's enough.
Yeah. Really the dagger was, no question, that 98-yard fumble recovery touchdown. That was kind of the knockout punch, and then they get another one here with just 2 minutes to go. Squib kick going to be fumbled by Ridgeway, but picked back up. Stager, I believe, is on the return, and he's going to be brought down really close to the end zone. Just kind of a tough play, a tough break there.
That was not Stager.
No, not Stager?
Marcus Alio.
Okay. No, I see, the
numbers.
Yeah, it's tough to see. It is his normal spot, but yeah, Marcus Alio, that was him on that return. I kind of should have known it was kind of the black undershirt that he has, a little bit different than Stager, but I think he's just kind of habitual at this point to say Stager on the return. Right. But yeah, no, Alio on that return.
Forget following game, we'll have the Rowley Family Chiropractor player of the game. I would imagine it's synonymous who it's going to be.
Yeah, it's probably Braylon Wagner. Yeah. Goodness gracious, what a game he's had. Kind of the heart and soul of this team. Passing the ball, running the ball, willing the team out of 4th and long situations. He was up for the challenge. He wasn't ready for his senior year to end in football.
Top of the 4th inning, Dodgers up 3-1 over the Blue Jays in game number 6 of the World Series. .138 left to go in the game, 51-19. Handoff. Driving forward. Bring up a 4th and 3 or 4 for Ridgeway.
See Blaine Gold summon some of his seniors in for their last plays. of their career on their home turf.
Check, it's going to be third down. Sorry,
Third and 3. Yeah, under a minute to go here in this quarterfinal matchup. District 9 1A football.
Falling forward, I believe that was Gerg to pick up the first down. Imagine that this next play will be the last of the season for Ridgeway.
Yeah, clock separated by about 4 seconds. So, yeah, probably the last play for Ridgeway here in this 2025 campaign.
The West Penn never showed up, by the way, folks, if you're wondering. Stockman back to pass, unleashes one. In and out of the hands of Kilpeck, so Ridgeway will have 9 more seconds.
No, I think they completed that. Yeah, Gavin Kilpeck, that was a huge catch. He's probably nearing 1,000 yards tonight. That was another huge gainer. Kilpeck been trusted on these deep balls, and rightfully so. He's coming up with some huge grabs here tonight.
He caught it and then, instantly jumped out of bounds and just dropped it.
Yeah, it was like
that's why
nonchalant
That's
catch.
why I thought it went in and out of his hands.
Yeah, what a grab. So this will be the last play of the ball game here, folks.
Running the ball to the left is Allegretto, and Allegretto is going to be met by the Dog Pound. Your final score here in New Bethlehem, Redbank 51, Ridgeway 19. We'll send it out for a quick break here on B94. Take care of our sponsors and wrap this one up.
Top of the line builders, the area's leader in quality roofing projects, now add seamless gutter installation to our services. At Top of the Line Builders, our staff is trained to offer professional installation. For more information and a no-obligation quote on seamless gutters, call Nick Cherry at 814-965-5785. We offer free estimates and are fully insured. Top of the Line Builders. Get your project done right the first time.
Wouldn't it be great if you could have your insurances for auto, home, business, farm, life, and retirement in just one agency? That's what Pacelli Insurance is for. They can help protect what is important for you and your family's future. Visit Pacelli Insurance in St. Mary's or call them at 814-781-3888. Pacelli Insurance, your preferred local independent insurance agency. Pacelli Insurance, where we protect your world.
And welcome back to New Bethlehem. 51-19 is the score. Ridgeway will end the season 5-6, bowing out in the quarterfinals. Redbank will move on to play whom?
Trying to remember in the memory bank here. I think Union AC Valley.
Okay.
So a Clarion County semifinal there, I believe, is in store, if I'm not mistaken.
Redbank looked hot and ready to go from the get-go. Essentially, the 2-point conversions early was a whole nother touchdown, plus their defense shut down Ridgeway when they needed to, just playing an all-around sound game.
Yeah, they gave up a couple big plays is all. Obviously, Redbank Valley gave up that huge return by Zimmerman. What a return for him. And then he had the interception. But, other than kind of those blemishes and one other touchdown drive, Redbank Valley really controlled from the opening part of the ballgame once again down here in New Bethlehem. Just a little bit too quick of a start for Ridgeway to overcome, and then some huge plays to kind of, seal the deal here in the fourth quarter when Ridgeway was mounting a comeback.
Rowley Family Chiropractor Player of the Game, where their MVPs will get you back in the game with their top-notch service, is
Braylon Wagner.
Without a doubt.
2,000-yard passer now, hitting Huffman, hitting Gold, hitting different players all game, at different points. But then his legs did the job. I think he went over 100 yards rushing for sure. He had 99 last week. I think he said, I want to get 100 this week. He certainly got that. They are running quarterback power with him. He was making up for, great coverage by the Ridgway Elkers secondary. He would just take a broken play and make some unbelievable plays. He had one play where we thought he might have almost been past the line of scrimmage, kept that back foot behind, hit a guy in the flat, and then they, go and finish the drive. So Braylon Wagner, having an unreal season, and, he is a huge reason why Redbank Valley is in these D9 semifinals in Class A.
So best of luck to Redbank as they move forward. But let's stick and stay on Ridgeway a little bit. We kind of touched on it a little bit. Young team. On paper, some would say maybe shouldn't even have been here, but what they did, starting 1-4, climbing their way back into this, and just showing that their grit, their desire is there. They're returning so much next year.
Absolutely. How do you return 95+% of your team? You take that. Absolutely. They had a quite a turnaround mid-season point. Went on a crazy stretch. Easily could have been 6-4. Just unfortunately, Brockway had some crazy plays. To get them to 5-5, and obviously now 5-6. But yeah, great season from them. They really turned it around. They got the passing game going a little bit more in the second half of the season. Xavier Stockman stepped up as a runner. Gerg stepped up, obviously, and Stager obviously steady throughout the entire season. So, yeah, they got a lot coming back. Going to be very senior-heavy next year. And a lot of the young freshmen, sophomores got a lot of experience, and the maturation process was pretty neat to watch. Despite going down big in this game, they never quit. So, you again, just never quit attitude. And, next season, I truly think, Ridgeway is going to be one of the favorites in Class A for District 9, no doubt.
So once again, JJ and Nate will have the St. Mary's game tomorrow. It'll be over on the Hound. It'll also be streamed on their website as well, so make sure you check that out. Nate, it's been a great football season. We'll get ready to slide into what's yet to come. Who knows?
Absolutely.
St. Mary's got Brockway tomorrow. They had a heck of a game when we were down in Brockway. Not making a prediction, but it's going to be a great game.
Yeah, absolutely. Two good football teams, really hard-nosed. Two really good coaches. Jake Heigl obviously got his first District 9 championship last year as a head coach. But Coach Dworick has done this before. He's a D9 champion winning head coach as well at Brookville, I believe, 3 times. He's still looking for his first one at St. Mary's. So something's got to give. It's a rematch from last year. It's a rematch from week 2. So it should be a heck of a ball game.
Nate, have a great call with JJ tomorrow.
Thank you so much. Yeah, it's been a pleasure to be here for my first season of football with you, Mark. Really appreciate the opportunity and can't wait for hoop season here in a couple weeks.
Yeah. All right, guys, we're going to send it back to the station for music on B94. But before then, make sure you tell your loved ones you love them, because you never know.
Broadcasting from the heart of Elk